Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. My name is Todd. If this is your first time here, hit the follow button. If you're on Twitch, hit the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, I appreciate you being here, of course. This is going to be a fun one. What's up, Horoscope? What's up? Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you greatly. We're going to have some amazing member-requested videos for you today. And as always, if you'd like to request your own videos and literally guide the stream, you certainly can. ToddReacts.com. Season and series tiers are the ones you're looking for. And while you're there, go ahead and check out the merch summer collection as you saw in the pre-stream ad. 15% off for members, ships worldwide, available for a limited time only. We got some amazing ones there. I'm currently wearing the graphic soft hoodie in the red variety. I don't know why it's taking so long. There it goes. It's probably the fact that I'm streaming on top of this. But you can check those out and more. The accessories, these are all brand new. I have one of them in front of me, the double wall tumbler. Comes with a nice little straw there and keeps your hands dry and your drink cold, which is good, which is quite good. That'll help me today because if it's your first time, I do talk a lot during these, so strap in. Lots of other great items there for you to check out as well. The pint glass is in action. It is Friday. Of course, it is Friday. That's a nice chill apple juice, if anybody's asking. All right. And certainly last but not least, if you're on the YouTube channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it greatly. They do make it pretty obvious to see it. I'll make it even more obvious, actually. There's over 1,100 videos, as you can see right there. So if you haven't been there or you are there currently, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. It's a free and easy way to support the channel. And over 14,100 of you have already hit that button. I appreciate it greatly. That tells me you like me. You really, really like me. And it means a lot. I appreciate you being here. And certainly, you know what? I said last but not least, but I meant this last but not least. The Discord. Totally free. The link is everywhere. As you can see at the top, tells you when I'm live, which is super handy. Gives you a nice little link to the Twitch as well. Pretty sweet. Thanks for the links there, Jace. I appreciate it. As you can see as well, there's tons of lovely, lovely fandoms for you to check out. And if you don't see one that you're really into or you're really interested in, certainly go ahead and request it. We're happy to make it for you. And you can meet other people all around the world that are into what you're into. It's pretty awesome. And we have some amazing community channels there as well. Pet Pictures is always lively. So if you're interested in seeing animals from all over the world, you can find them there. What's up, Rack? Welcome in. Thanks for joining, of course. 254 members are already in the Discord. You could be number 255. You could be number 300. Dang. Look at you. Look at you go. Join today if you've been thinking about it. It's totally free, and there's always somebody available to talk. It is international in all sense of the word. Excuse me. And yeah, I think you'll enjoy it quite a lot. So, as you can see behind me, there's still a ton of boxes back there. It's a mess. I'm still packing. I actually go and get the keys for the new apartment this Wednesday. So that's coming up. I'm looking forward to it, but this weekend is going to be spent pretty much packing. So it's not going to be very eventful for me, but I'll turn on some good music, maybe listen to some Taylor Swift. We listened to some Taylor Swift pre-stream if you weren't here. And yeah, kind of enjoy it the best that I can, I suppose. But should be interesting. I'll take some time off to do something fun, at least. But it's going to be a lot of packing. It is. I'm sure if you've moved ever before, you've experienced it. It's quite interesting. You look at some things that you haven't seen before, or maybe you haven't seen in a couple years or months, and you're just like, I own that? What is that? Maybe it's still in the box. You bought it. You threw it somewhere. You had no idea it was there. And it's just this brand new item. The key collecting, very exciting. Very exciting indeed. It's one of those things where I've definitely moved before, but I've never been the star of the show, if you will. Like, I've never actively done it myself, for myself. So it's very much like, what do I do first? Like, I'm kind of guessing this whole procedure. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I guess, you know what? Over the years, I've kind of learned that most of adulting is just figuring it out. No idea what's going on. Most people don't either. You just kind of throw things at the wall and just hope, right? Hope it works out. The things you only ever see to pack and unpack them each move, right? Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Good Taylor Swift playlist. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Cleaning to Taylor Swift is a good option for sure. Makes you forget that you're even cleaning, honestly. Which is good. Cleaning can be arduous sometimes, but it can also be kind of relaxing. I don't know if you've experienced that, where you're just like, I don't know, maybe it's like a Saturday night, Friday night, supposed to be doing something fun, and then you just find yourself cleaning till like late at night, and you're just like, huh, I don't know. I don't know why I did that, but I feel pretty good. It's just one of those things. Maybe a little glass of wine if you're of age. Drink responsibly, of course, if you can. And yeah, I don't know. Just one of those things. I'm going to have to get really comfortable with cleaning in the next couple weeks. So I don't really have to be out of here like quickly as soon as I get the keys. So that'll be kind of a slow drip into the new apartment. I don't know. I really don't. Is it better to get over there faster, or is it better to just take my time and be easy with it and not rush? I don't know. Let me know. Do you have any advice? Do you have any advice? Please, I'm begging you. Let me know. We have some amazing videos for you today. We have 5 of them. 2 of them are the same show. I know. I did space them apart, so we're not just back-to-back, same show. I don't know why. It felt like that would be weird if I did them back-to-back. I don't know. Again, I'm just trying things out, see if that works. We're going to start off with a 911 video on Bobby Nash. I feel like I don't want to say it because I don't want to spoil it, but it's been a couple weeks. It's been a month at least, right? But yes, Bobby. Anyway, second video is Madame Secretary. Secretary. It's a compilation of, let's see here. It's a compilation of Henry and Elizabeth. And then we have another 911 video. I know. 2 911 videos. Crazy. We're just, throw on the lights, throw on the sirens. It is a 911 kind of night or morning, whenever you're watching this. The second one is going to be Bobby and Buck. So it's going to be Bobby and Buck, which should be good. I've enjoyed seeing their kind of father-son familial interactions. It just seems like mentor-mentee, kind of stuff, which is quite nice. Quite nice indeed. What's up, Jamie? Welcome in. Glad you're here. Filming the new season now. Okay. Good to know. 911 Overload. That's the next spinoff. You had 911 Lone Star, now it's 911 Overload. I don't know what the heck that would even mean. And then we have a JoongDunk compilation, of course. This one is entitled The Kings of Subtlety, which is poignant indeed. They're not subtle. That's the joke. Sorry to spoil it. But and then we're going to finish off stream and kick off your weekend. Hopefully it's more enjoyable than mine. I mean, hopefully you're not packing your weekend away like I will be. We're going to watch Queen. Going to react to Queen live at Live Aid, 1985, if I'm not mistaken, right? 1985. Yeah, the full concert. So we're going to end with a concert. The immortal Freddie Mercury. Should be amazing. I mean, just what a talent, what a stage presence, being able to orchestrate a crowd and all that stuff. Just an amazing person. Next one's 911 Nashville. Oh, wow. They're filming 911 Nashville too. Oh my gosh. Oh, I was joking about doing another spinoff, but apparently no. It's not a joke. It's actually real. I mean, it's almost feeling like Law and Order at this point. Law and Order Criminal Intent. Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Law and Order, Law and Order. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Does it get watered down the more it gets away from the original? You know what I mean? Although I will say SVU and Criminal Intent were quite good. Quite good spin-offs. I would actually say they were better than the original. I know. I said it. SVU and Criminal Intent were better than the original Law and Order. That being said, I haven't seen a lot of the original, but what I've seen, I've enjoyed the other ones better, which is pretty impressive. If you nail the spin-off like that, that's chef's kiss. Personally, don't have high hopes. Yeah, I think that's realistic, honestly. I do. I think that's realistic. SVU has run way longer. True. Very true. And people are just like Stabler, and I can't remember the other person's name in there, but Stabler and the other person just come together. Just come together a little bit. Just I saw, oh my gosh, what is that? Benson, that's it. Benson. Stabler and Benson, just get together already. And then I saw, I saw Stabler's actor, Christopher Maloney, I think his name is. I saw him say like, that's kind of the joy of it, is that you're just like, when are these two people finally going to get together? And it's like the ultimate tease. It's like the longest running tease on television. It's just like, oh, come on now. I don't ever want to hear, like, I know writers do pay attention to the audience, and sometimes they do tease, relationships between characters and whatnot, and they're like, oh, will they, won't they? Eddie and Buck, anybody? Will they, won't they? Oh, slow burn. That is the slowest of slows. That might even, actually, I think it's longer than, that's definitely longer than Mulder and Scully of X-Files. For sure, at this point. Like, they have just, I don't get it. I don't get it. Are they waiting for, like, the 30th anniversary or something like that? Like, what are they waiting for on that? I don't know. Maybe they think the audience only sticks around because they're dying to see it. That might be it. I'm not exactly sure. But the show itself is amazing. Just absolutely incredible. Gosh, I cannot believe they're doing a 911 Nashville. Come on. Why? You know what's funny about that? Is that Connie Britton, who's she play? She plays the dispatch in the first season. The big name that they brought on to be in 911. She was in a show called Nashville. So that's kind of ironic a little bit. Like, is she going to make a comeback in that? Abby, yes. Is Abby going to come back to be in Nashville? That'd be hilarious. I may be in the minority, but I think they're better apart. Honestly, yeah, probably. At this point, there's almost a love for the tease. Will they, won't they? At this point, don't bring them together. That's my stance. I totally agree. Love for Buddy to actually be canon, but I feel like the writers would just mess it up. That could be the case. That could definitely be the case. That's the problem, is that you're like, oh, you're expecting this whirlwind, Notebook kind of ending where it's just like, oh, they were meant to be. They died together. They were so close and connected and all that stuff. And then, boy, sometimes the writers can really screw that up. Really screw it up. Like what they have now is perfect. Yeah, I would agree. I would say the same thing about Stabler and Benson. What they have now is perfect. And by trying to do something else, they might screw it up. Just apprehension. been burned too many times. We're a little callous towards it, you know? TV writers are very hit or miss. Sometimes they nail it, sometimes they don't. So, all right. I cannot believe they're doing Nashville. Oh, my God. Oh, that is such a bad move. That is so bad. Are they just going to go from city to city at this point? Like Lone Star didn't quite pan out as well. Maybe we go for Nashville. Oh, that didn't really do it. How about Atlanta? How about London? 911 London. Something, you know? Throw something out there. Lone Star was canceled, yeah. It doesn't make sense. It's like they're trying to find the perfect angle, and what they're focusing on is not the right thing. Like, did they really think they had to cancel Lone Star because it was in Texas and not enough people watched it? So it was the city's fault? Or was it the actors and they're like, you know what, let's just scrap the whole city, the whole state. Let's just move it somewhere else. Them canceling Lone Star and Odyssey just to start a new one is crazy work. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Did they announce any of the actors in Nashville? Oh, they did. What do we got here? What do we got? Let's go ahead and bring that up really quick. All right. Oh, Leanne Rimes is going to be in it. What? Kimberly Williams Paisley, married to Brad Paisley, country star. Chris O'Donnell. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen him in forever. He's going to be the captain? Good Lord. Huh. You know what's funny? He kind of looks like Bobby. I'm just saying. He kind of looks like Bobby. That's so strange. Chris O'Donnell with his age looks like Bobby. It being left on Fox behind the main show on ABC didn't help. It didn't. It definitely didn't. Excited for Jessica? I just don't get why they have 3 firefighter shows and it's now the 3rd time with a straight. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Chris O'Donnell. It's so weird to see him. I haven't seen him since. Oh gosh, what was that movie? What was that frickin' movie? It was so long ago. It was like the Bride movie. Oh gosh. The Bachelor. Oh my God. Romantic comedy. O'Donnell plays Jimmy Shannon, a man who must find a bride within 24 hours to inherit a large fortune. Co-starring Renee Zellweger. Pressured to propose to Anne, but when he does so unenthusiastically, she turns him down. He then learns of his grandfather's will, which stipulates they must be married before his 30th birthday, which is the next day to inherit the money. What follows is a frantic search for a bride. Literally all the brides in the world are after this dude. It's so goofy. That was the last time I think I've ever seen Chris O'Donnell, to be honest. Leanne Rimes. I didn't know she acted at all. Like, that's interesting. All right, Ryan Murphy's in it again. Tim, he's in it. All right, Captain Don Sharp, a veteran firefighter and former rodeo star, who leads the Nashville firehouse alongside his modern-day cowboy son, Ryan, played by Provost. So we got a father-son thing there. Capshaw plays Blythe, Don's wife and mother of Ryan. Okay. Got a firefighter who's also a singer. Firefighter who's a former trauma surgeon and adrenaline junkie. Country star Leanne Rimes, mother of Blue. Firefighter and former exotic dancer. Interesting. Father the Bride star. Oh my gosh, that's a great movie. Great movies. There was a sequel that was good too. Kimberly Williams Paisley, 911 dispatcher. Okay. So just like Connie Britton, they're bringing in a known actor to play a dispatcher. Kind of makes sense. They're trying to relive that. He's got a little bit of Cillian Murphy in him, doesn't he? There's a little bit of Cillian there. No new ideas. Nope. It's time tested. So they're just trying to relive that glory, I guess. Are people really going to watch both? Or are they trying to aim for a new audience? Like, that seems weird. Like, would you watch 911 continue and also watch 911 Nashville? Wouldn't it feel similar? Like, to the point where you're watching, like, the same show, basically? I don't know if I understand that. Why, you know? Unless there's some different angle to it. You know, at least Law and Order Special Victims Unit was definitely different than Criminal Intent. Criminal Intent was all about the investigation. It was all about the interrogation. That's the word I was looking for. Interrogation was just, it was perfect. That made that show so interesting, is when the lead actor would get some suspect in the room and just, oh my gosh, it was beautiful. Beautiful to watch. SVU obviously is more about Stabler and Benson and their interactions and how they hunt down suspects and stuff. Totally different. I do know some who watch Lone Star, but not the main show. Interesting. That's interesting. Again, with the Captain Dad and Firefighter Son. Oh, that's true. Rob Lowe and the Lone Star had the son. I don't get why we're just redoing storylines. That's a good question. I don't get it. I don't get it. That is so strange. All right, enough about that. Let's head on to the main show, shall we? 911, this is Bobby Nash, Someone to Stay. Season 8, episode 15, it looks like. Up until then. This person says, I started this video a few weeks ago with a different intent, and after the last episode, obviously, what happened to Bobby, I went back to work on it because why not make myself suffer in all the ways and put it out in the universe? I will never recover. Bobby was the ultimate comfort character. There you go. So says the editor. So says I. Let's go ahead and bring it up and jump into our first reaction video. This is going to be brutal. This is going to be a sad way to start, but we're starting there. Sorry to do it to you, but we got to, jump in feet first. Well, I guess head first.
I should have died in that fire that night.
Oh, starting off hot.
I'm not supposed to be here.
Why? Why did you bring me back?
Left my baggage at home. Made work about getting the job done.
Maybe you should stop trying to carry it all.
I need you to stay calm, okay? I need you to breathe. Go! Get in! Get in!
Is there anything to make the pain go away?
He's punishing me by forcing me to stay alive. It's never gonna end.
I've been where you are. I know how you feel. Believe me.
All you gotta do is hang on.
No one can help me.
We did our jobs very well today.
My job ends here. He just needs to hear that you're sorry.
Can't make anything better.
Boy, they nailed the casting of Peter.
So I live my life just trying not to
Peter
make anything
absolutely
worse.
nailed this role. Just from everything I've seen.
There's hope. You're just a good man. I'm not a hero. I'm not. But I started to live again.
I'm the first person you lost.
You're my rock, Bobby.
Don't panic.
It didn't make any difference.
I don't think I have enough tears for all of them.
You think this is a joke? No. So you choose this life, you find a way to leave everything behind you except that 60 pounds.
That's a good kid.
A lucky kid. Where is she?
I'm here for all the parts that we left.
Don't let her die.
But this is not a family.
You're gonna be okay.
This family's right here.
I'm sorry, that's not professional. I love you, baby.
I moved forward by never letting anybody get so important to me that I had to go through that kind of loss again.
We love you too.
I'm sorry.
I am so sorry about what happened to you. I am so sorry.
I'm lost.
Are you okay?
He was worried about you.
I never counted the survivors, the people left behind.
You were alone, left out in the cold, clinging to the ruin of your broken heart.
Sorry I couldn't save you, Dad.
I'm so sorry.
Sometimes all you can do is save yourself.
Fix me.
Are you happy?
Show me hope.
Yeah, I am.
The end of the day.
Where's Maddie?
Helpless.
And you're not helpless, Jim.
Can you keep me
You're right here, pal.
close? Can you
And
love
so are all the people who love you.
I'm not choosing to leave you. I chose to save my team because it was the right thing to do.
Good luck.
Oh my God. This is so brutal. Brutal. Good Lord. Wow, this is very emotional. It's very emotional. Wow. Yeah, they nailed the casting of Bobby. They really did. I had never heard of Peter Krause before, never seen him before. Everything I've seen him encapsulating this character has just been flawless.
I'm just glad to have you back.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, Jamie. That's wild. I can't blame you. That would have been really heart-wrenching.
You used all your chances, so have
Didn't know it would kill me.
I. I think you would have done that.
We don't have any more time. Mine was always borrowed.
You have regrets?
No regrets. I know that I'm where I want
Prepare
to
for
be.
the ending.
If I could choose, I would stay with you. Always.
This life that you have, maybe you earned it.
You built it.
Closeness, intimacy, and trust, those things don't come for free.
Oh.
I should have died in that fire that night.
What a way to start. Oh my gosh. Wow. I don't think you're going to beat the casting of this first one. I had never heard of Peter Krause. Turned out to be phenomenal. Phenomenal. His chemistry with Bobby and Athena's chemistry was just incredible. Incredible. Two heavy hitters as actors there. Wow. I really just don't see them replicating that. I mean, I know they're trying their best. They're trying their best, but I just don't see it. I really don't. And obviously, Buck and Eddie have kind of stolen the show a little bit, but there's something just as, watching some of these compilations, it's pretty clear that Bobby's character was very much the glue. And a lot of what people have said, or at least I've read in Reddit and whatnot, take that with a grain of salt, but I read it, is that Bobby was very much not only the leader and kind of the emotional glue. Certainly for Buck, being very, mentor-like, but it's sad. It's so sad. Bobby and Athena wasn't planned. They stumbled on it, and wow, yeah, that's crazy. The fact that they stumbled on that. Go ahead and throw some love on that. Link down below in the video description for the original video. Go throw it some much-deserved love. Dang. I was going to throw it in the chat, and now it's making me log in. Wait for it. There it is. There's the link for those of you watching live. Wow, I am beside myself on that. That is brutal. Boy, how Bobby Nash became one of TV's most beloved first responders. 911 is not going to be the same without Bobby Nash, and here's how he became so beloved. There's always some characters on TV that stand out more than others. Bobby Nash is one of them, quickly proving to not be just one of the greatest characters in 911, but also one of the greatest characters of TV of all time. 911 made a huge mistake killing Bobby off in season 8. There's a spoiler, if you didn't know by now. That's obviously very subjective. Some of you might think that's true. Some of you might be like, let's see what happens, But I guess we'll have to see what happens anyway. It's happened for creative purposes and not because Peter Krause wanted to leave the show. Boy, that is brutal. Now we're left in a gaping hole in the 118 and on our TV screens every week. The series is not going to be the same without him. But how did Bobby become one of the best characters in the series? How does he have that so many... Wait, what does he have that so many other characters don't? Bobby isn't afraid to put his life on the line for others. I think that came from the accident. I think, weirdly enough, I think that prior to the show accident of him, accidentally losing his family there, ended up helping him as a firefighter. Like he maybe was a little reckless with his own life. But from the beginning, we saw that Bobby would sacrifice everything for other people. He would put his life on the line for literal strangers, which is the best characteristic for a firefighter. And he never forgot those he had lost. In fact, 9/11 season 1, we learned that he was making a note of names to counter the lives lost in an apartment building fire that he accidentally started. When it comes to his team, he continued to put his life on the line. In fact, that's how his end came, because he needed to make sure the rest of his team got out. For some of his life, Bobby was living in purgatory, waiting to rejoin his wife and children who perished in the same apartment fire that he started. He didn't really view his own life as worth living, and he was surviving just to pay back everything that he felt he had taken. Yet he didn't give up, even after the list was finished, showing he knew he still had work to do. Bobby could see the goodness in people. When Buck first came to the 118, he was a bit of a wild horse. That's putting it lightly. He still is at times putting his life in danger to save people, but not really thinking everything through. A lot of captains would just be annoyed at that and try to tear down his spirit, but Bobby saw the goodness that was inside Buck. You could tell that Buck was just eager to save lives, and he was able to help train Buck to use that to drive better and safer. He was a compassionate boss, seeing what people are at their breaking point, stepping in before it gets to that. Due to his own personal experience, he knew that people have their own way of coping, but he also knew that sometimes people need intervention. Working on connecting the goodness within, he was able to support everyone in their darkest times. When a team was more than just a team, they were a genuine family. Now they need a captain who will be able to continue that, although having Bobby back will be even better. Killing the character off still doesn't make sense. It's interesting. Very interesting. I wonder how they're going to replace him. I'm assuming... I don't know. Who becomes top dog? Tim saying they killed Bobby off for realism was the worst decision ever made. In some ways, I get it, right? Firefighters definitely do die in the line of duty. Like that's an unfortunate reality. But this is also an entertainment show. And we could have somebody else go, maybe a lower character that's not a huge fan favorite and, kind of spearheading the show. But I get it. That is a bold move, though. That is a very bold move. Like, could you imagine if they killed Bobby off next? Or, Buck off next? People would lose their minds. Like, it would be pandemonium. Good Lord. Like, this opens up the possibility that nobody's safe. No one is safe on that show, which, we've had that previously. Certainly, Sopranos kind of had that a little bit. Game of Thrones certainly had that. Before you knew it, everybody was dying right and left, and you're like, what's happening? So who knows? Maybe he's really gonna push some buttons, and you're gonna be like, why? How? Why? And he'll just have people kind of, if Chimney isn't captain when we get back, I'll riot. That could be a good one. That could definitely be a good one. A lot of people loved 911 as a comfort show that in 8 years hadn't killed a main, unlike Grey's Anatomy. Oh, yeah, that's right. Comfort show, and now that's gone. Very true. Very true. There's something beautiful about, counting on, not very related content, but The Office. They didn't really kill anybody off. Obviously, Michael Scott left. But before that, you weren't expecting anyone to get written off or something like that. So it does kind of hurt it a little bit. Like, I know for me, as soon as Michael Scott left The Office, I was done with it. Just done. So it'll be interesting to see what the ratings have in store there. Bobby Nash died for our sins. Wait, what? Procedural death and how not to do it. Third episode of the Fantastic Network Slop Fest, that is 911, features one of its leads, Chimney, getting what my roommate affectionately refers to as Phineas Gauged, and coming out of it pretty unscathed. My wife, or his wife, Maddie, recently survived a brutal throat-slashing incident, yikes, with little more than a line across her throat. This is a show that had shark attacks on the freeway in its second season, Sharknado. Featured a subplot about a man cheating on his girlfriend with a woman who looks identical to his dead ex-wife, played by the same actress. So why did my over-the-top feel-good firefighter show decide to get real sobering real quick, decimating the plot armor that has always protected its leads without warning? The death of a major character is never an easy thing to write into a television show. This goes doubly for procedurals, whose entire conceit is formula repetition, knowing that the good guys will nab the bad guys by the end of the episode, or at least the multi-episode arc. Killing a character is easier in some cases than others. Grey's Anatomy gives you more opportunities to knock people off than Friends does, just by virtue of genre. But it's never simple. That's true. Yeah, couldn't kill off like Joey or Chandler, but you can definitely do it in Grey's Anatomy. But honestly, I would argue even easier to kill people off would be 911 over Grey's Anatomy. Frankly, because it is a dangerous job. You are signing up for potentially losing your life. Just like a police officer, just like, the military, you are taking the chance, taking the risk. So it does make it real, but if you've gone 8 seasons without killing any of the main people off, why change that? Just enjoy being the comfort show. Everybody's got plot armor. Maybe somebody that comes in, from like a different department, joins the squad for like a little bit, and then they go. It's like, ooh, it's sad. You see the team kind of rally together around each other, and then this no-name character just kind of disappears. Like, that seems a little bit more realistic for a show, at least. In some cases, it can be done pretty beautifully. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, formulaic Monster of the Week show comes to mind. In others, it can be done pretty awful. 911 killing off its fire captain, Bobby Nash, is one of the worst handled deaths I've ever seen. Yeah, I would probably put it up there with Han Solo falling off a bridge. I'd probably do that. Like, that was one of the worst I've ever seen. The broad strokes for the non-spoiler verse, though I guess that ship has already sailed, are as follows. There's a lab where a super strain of a virus is being made because, sure, and an evil, kinda hot scientist is developing an antivirus for it. She wants to unleash it on the world and then provide the world with the cure so she can make a lot of money. And win a Nobel Prize and not get arrested and sent to jail for life for however long, they can. The 118, the central station at which the 911 characters work, responds to a call about a fire in the lab. 4 characters get trapped inside. Chimney gets exploded. That would have been different. Gets exposed to the virus, which has an incubation period of 90 minutes. While Bobby's proto-son, Buck, and wife, Sergeant Athena Grant, hunt down evil scientists, Bobby and co. tend to Chimney as he ails. Finally, the antivirus gets delivered. Bobby administers it before locking himself inside a section of the lab, taking off his helmet, and revealing that he got exposed to the virus too. Bobby decides to sacrifice himself for Chimney, allowing himself to die. It's not ending himself, which he's attempted both before the timeline of the show and during the show, but it's pretty close. He has a tearful goodbye with Buck, then with Athena, and then he stoops to pray. So that's how it goes down, huh? Interesting. Very interesting. It makes me wonder, like, why... Is there only one vial of the antivirus? Is that why they only asked for one? And he just kept it a secret? It's very interesting. There's even a billboard in Times Square with a memorial to Bobby. Are you serious? That's amazing. I feel like the writers forgot there was a whole Be NATO right before killing Bobby off for realism. Right. He had a Sharknado, Be NATO. Got everything. We don't see the body, which I'm really holding on to. The golden rule of television is if there's no body, there's no death. Although we do see the body bag, but let me theorize, okay? So first of all, ouch, I'm sad. They killed a TV dad of mine. What the hell? Second of all, again, what the hell? What a terrible choice. What a terrible execution of a terrible choice. It never sits comfortably when an explicitly prone to ending oneself character leaves a show unhappily, especially by self-sacrifice or giving up. Sure, 911 is far from the most egregious example I've seen on television or even on a bad network procedural. Don't get me started on Supernatural. Whoa. Got some strays coming in for Supernatural. But it's still uncomfortable, especially with a line from Bobby about how Los Angeles was supposed to be penance for him. Does Bobby's self-flagellation have to end with him bleeding out from long-healed scars? Ending oneself is fine to depict on screen. Yeah, I've definitely seen it before. If you watched 13 Reasons Why, you've definitely seen it too. Because we can't deal with the hard things in life if we don't talk about them. Meredith Grey has passively attempted to take her own life multiple times than I can count, more times than I can count, but the show generally tries to address it tastefully, stressing the importance of her connections with her friends and family and keeping her around. TK Strand from 911's Texan spinoff Lone Star is introduced through an overdose, after which he works on healing, finding happiness with a new boyfriend, ultimately realizes that things can get better, even if there are some bumps in the road. Even Buck from the very same 911 is passively inclined to end oneself on and off throughout the seasons, but he finds comfort in his sister, his best friend, and of course, in his captain. Oh, Captain, my captain. In the music video, the blue light and blood nose was him having symptoms. Only one vial, and Bobby hid his symptoms to not make a who do we save situation. Bunk. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense. You know what? I mean, structurally, that sounds right. Captain goes down with the ship. Captain saved the team member. I can't argue with the structure of it. Bobby, administering the antivirus, saving, Chim, and sacrificing himself. Like that worked out how that should have worked out. But boy, brutal for the show. Captain who is now dead in a show that doesn't kill its characters. Yeah, that makes no sense. Why would you introduce that so late? So late. It's almost like a different writer got on it and was like, okay, we're going to do this. After an awful random mid-season two-parter having Bobby leave behind a grieving wife, children, and station, it's hard to imagine where the show can tonally go after this. That's a major flaw with this murder. But The difference between 911 and Grey's is that while they're both procedural shows, the former tells you time and time again that everything will work out, while the latter's thesis is that you can usually get through things even when they don't work out. That's true. I mean, Grey's Anatomy is literally set in a hospital, which, if you're going to the hospital, chances are you got a better than average chance of not making it out of the hospital. Like, that is just, it is what it is, right? That's an accepted part of the show. You will have guest actors and guest characters cease to exist. So it makes sense that in the running of it, also the doctors and nurses would come across things that could do it. Now, if they had started 911 with that same vibe, like at any time you could go kind of thing, then that makes sense. But tonally, it seems like they honestly had given everybody plot armor. It was just like, all right, this is a feel-good show. We'll get in some relationships. Will they, won't theys. We'll have them go through their paces. It is a firefighter show. They'll have weird stuff. But other than that, we're just happy to be here kind of thing. Like, it's totally different. If I hear them call that baby Bobby next season, I'm going to lose it. 2 kids of Athena and Bobby have been announced as main cast for season 9. Okay. Them being bumped up and not, doesn't make sense. Both their kids are named after dead people. That's not excellent. Oh my gosh. I thought Ravi being there was with Bobby's death was a hint he was going to be a main. Yeah. It's crazy to pull the rug out from an audience that turns to a show for comfort and shoots them in the chest. And unlike season 4's Eddie Diaz, they don't get better following the sniping. There's a way to kill a beloved character towards the end of a procedural drama that dramatically changes the show's tone and strips away the plot armor that has protected its protagonists up until that point. Aforementioned Buffy death is near perfect. Though Buffy isn't a procedural in that it's not a med, cop, first responder show, it's a monster of the week, which is, for these purposes, works just as well. What Buffy does so stellarly, that's hard to say, and what procedural deaths frequently fail at is executing a series affecting character death in the middle of a show that operates on formula. The tricky line to walk in shows like this is measuring impact. Obviously, a major character death will upset pretty much everything, which is challenging when a key part of the procedural format is reliability, playing each episode out in a similar recipe. When Joyce Summers dies, it's unexpected, unremarkable, irreversible. There's nothing supernatural about it. Her daughters and their friends cannot get her back. Sometimes people pass. That is true. And it's an awful life-ruining thing. The second half of Season 5 of Buffy, and the majority of Season 6, is about how grief shakes people's worlds. There is an appropriate dampening of the tone. The main character's mother just died. And a flawless episode called The Body that covers the immediate aftermath of Joyce's death. Yes, death happens. Death and taxes. The two givens of life, I guess. Like, it happens, certainly. Buffy is not the same after her mother's death. Season 6 sends her on a depressive spiral, sends her best friend in the depths of addiction, nearly drives her little sister to end herself. They get through it, though, and they get through it together. This is the first true hardship they've faced that they can't undo or find anyone to blame for. It's nothing like 911, whose writers I wouldn't trust to properly pace and lay out a long emotional arc if my life depended on it. Despite the fact that the leads are, until now, invincible, they're not shielded from emotional harm. The person most directly impacted by Bobby's death is his wife, Athena, who has not only been in the trenches before, but has been in the very same trenches before. Her fiancé was killed before the canon of the show, which we see her process in flashbacks and in real time. She's already experienced this grief. Why make her relive it just as she's starting to be healed? And that's on top of the first husband leaving her and her daughter attempting to end herself, and a cold case involving unwanted advances towards children is how I'll say that. And you get the point. It leaves Bobby's pseudo-son, who has parental issues like you've never seen before, without a parent. It leaves the woman who should be his successor, who has constantly been treated like she's not enough, without an advocate and mentor. It leaves the person who has frequently been the one to narrowly escape death with yet another dose of survivor's guilt. It leaves his mini mirror, who has always felt alone and like he can't lean on anyone without a guide, Buck. And without even a second of screen time in the episode, Bobby's death doesn't introduce characters to any unique struggles or ultimately do anything new except tank the show's ratings. Ooh. There is a way out, though. As much as I wish this had never happened in the first place, I'm delusionally foaming at the mouth reading too far into the lyrics of Work's song, which played over Bobby's death. What if they did a reverse Buffy? What if they brought Bobby back? If it was a fake out, or they retroactively decide to Easter resurrect the canonically devout Catholic Bobby Nash following the outcry of hatred for the decision from the Midwestern wine moms and the gay teens on Twitter alike. The mirror is Eddie. Buck's the sun. Eddie's the mirror. Oh, interesting. Okay. Putting Hosier during Bobby's death was brutal. Oh my gosh. I bet it was. Criminal Minds brought back Emily after her death at the end of season 6, retconning her grave into a false one. Who's to say the people over at 911 HQ won't do the same? Yeah, it'd be the terrible writing, and it wouldn't make up for the fact that Buck is totally about to get back together with his truly awful ex-boyfriend, but it'd at least be something. It'd at least give me hope that the newly renewed season 9 won't be the show's last. After all, general audiences cannot be happy about this choice. All of TV is secretly about routine and formula. That's true. Unless it's like some big epic, you just kind of buy into the story. Whatever happens, happens. But these procedurals are just more, here's what's happening this week. They have some struggles. They get through it. Hey, we're, moving on to the next. If 911 wants fans to enjoy the show enough to watch a 10th season or even retain decent viewership for the upcoming 9th, they better get back to their regular programming. Interesting take. Very interesting take. Very Marvel indeed. Yeah. I've seen theories Bobby's going to wake up in a government lab in Nashville. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Eddie's most like Bobby. That's amazing. That is true. Why is Peter Krause leaving 911? The reason behind this shocking exit. Well, it sounds like it was just a creative idea from Tim. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can find anything. Wasn't the actor's decision, rather a creative choice by the show's team, according to showrunner Tim. Quote, it was entirely creative. A very difficult creative decision, but there's practically no one I love on this earth more than Peter. As for why it had to be Bobby and not a smaller character, Tim, the showrunner, explained that the decision made more sense in the context of the captain's overall character arc. Oh, okay. So because he accidentally killed his family, this was him sacrificing himself for his found family, is basically that. That's the arc. It's redemption. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I guess it does. It's brutal to anybody watching. Didn't feel arbitrary because if you track the tragic arc of this character, of where he started and how he came to LA looking for atonement, it just makes a kind of tragic sense for this character in a way it wouldn't for another character. But also, I just didn't want to go small. Not that any of the characters are small, but Bobby's death affects every single character's story in a way that no other character's death would. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess it does. He's the leader, right? He's a captain. Captain goes down with the ship. Everybody is affected by this, definitely. Everybody had it looked like everybody had something different, a different kind of relationship with Bobby. So it definitely, emotionally, if not, emotionally affects everybody. I think this is, I think this is the most important part of the quote right there. Where is it? I think, wait, where is it? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Come back. I think that's the most important part of the, where does it go? Come on now. I think the most important part is when he said he just didn't want to go small. Yeah, right here. Just didn't want to go small. I think that he led with the other part. Like it works story-wise, but I think this part of his quote is the most why he chose Bobby. He didn't want to go small. If he's going to break that seal of plot armor, he wanted to go big. Which, is a risk. It's certainly a risk. Will people just move on and be like, yeah, whatever? Who knows? It'll be interesting to see the ratings. That's for sure. Will people be tuning in to see how they kind of address it? Will people eventually fade out over time? Will it be a slow burn kind of thing? Like each week it's just kind of lower and lower and lower. Will the numbers not change at all? Who knows? Be kind of interesting to see what happens, but I think that part of the quote is the most important. He didn't want to go small. I don't totally agree with that. Like if Buck or Hen died, I feel like everyone would be as equally as affected. True. I do think that. I do think if Buck died, it would have been huge. Because I think everybody sees him as like the heart. Certainly Bobby is the leader of the gang, but Buck seemingly is that young, like, I'm going to use an old-timey phrase, whippersnapper. He's like the go-getter, kind of all that, gosh, what am I looking for? Kind of the oomph, the heart, the motivation, kind of that young person that's just trying to do good. They might stumble every once in a while, which Buck certainly does, but that's the young gun who's just trying to prove himself and do good and all that stuff, where it kind of pushes everybody else along. Buck, just like Bobby, has such a great relationship with everybody. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I think that is the most important part of that. Didn't want to go small, so he said, you know what? Let's kill off the captain. I would love to have been a fly in the wall for that writer's room. Like, what would it have been like? Were some of them like, no, I don't know about that? Or were they all just in agreement and just, yeah, sure, that sounds good. We'll get no blowback from this. Now when viewers distraught as series kills off the first main character in 8 seasons. That's what we've said here. Yeah, it is. Let's see if we got anything new. Krause reflecting on his character's death in a statement that said, I've heard that many fans are upset by this loss, and they have a right to be. It is a loss. That said, it was more than a bold creative choice on a bold show. Bobby Nash was written in sacrifice, and he was built for this. First responders risked their lives on the job so that others can see another day. His story arc honors them. We at 911 salute all the incredible men and women who do these dangerous jobs and strive to keep us safe. He honored his cast, stating, quote, I will miss my beloved and unruly children of the 118. Aisha Hines, Kenneth, Oliver, Ryan, Enerud, I think. This is a tough goodbye. Stay unruly, but be professional and get the job done. Misfit heroes need each other. That's how we do it at our firehouse. Pass it along to the next new guy. It's a great statement. Munir, the showrunner, called the episode A Knife in the Heart with his co-star Angela Bassett, who plays his wife Athena. It was inconceivable to me that it was Bobby. It was incredulous to me that it was Bobby. So it was just very surprising. Sometimes you just... What? That's such a funny phrase. Sometimes you're just struck dumb. And that's one of the moments, because their bond has been so wonderful and so strong these past 4 or 5 years, I didn't see it coming. None of us saw it coming. Krause added in a statement, "I will miss my partner, Angela Bassett, her strength and her sweetness, and us holding hands. We parted ways too soon." Oh, that's adorable. That's adorable. I just can't believe they spoiled Bobby's death weeks before the episode came out. That's crazy. Really? Like knowing Bobby was going to die and had no idea. Maybe they tried to like prep people, you know? So many were hoping the funeral was a fever dream or fake out. Yeah, probably. I assume they did that because they wanted to prepare people emotionally. Like someone will die. Get ready. Fellow cast members were shocked when they discovered the news. The showrunner said of his decision, "Once I started thinking that somebody had to die, then the choice was who. And the only choice I thought made sense was Bobby. It makes sense for his character. Also, if there's a character whose death is going to affect the most characters, who would it be? Go big or go home." Yeah, that's brutal. That is absolutely brutal. Yikes. So stupid. Well, I mean, let's do a poll in the comments, shall we? If you think it was let me know down below in the comments if you think it was a good choice, if you think it was a stupid choice, let me know. I mean, so far my gut reaction is stupid. That's just a gut reaction. You haven't killed any of the mains in 8 seasons and you do it now? Like at this point, I don't know how much longer the show's going to go. Maybe 12, maybe 15 even. Like why now? Like if you're going to kill a major character off, do it in the first 2 seasons. Make a statement. And then that way, you know, if you kill off another character, people aren't going to be like, "Oh, I'm shocked. This is not the show for that." Like now people are just like, why? It doesn't make sense. I was confident for them getting to season 15, but after this, I don't know. I got no faith. Well, we'll see. We shall see. Filming season 9. I don't know if season 10's been confirmed or not, but I don't know. It seems like they found new lifeblood, certainly, on ABC. So we'll see. See, here's the thing. I don't know how much runway or leash ABC will give them, you know? Like if the ratings start to slip a little, will they look at it as like a bad investment and immediately cut it? Who knows, right? So it'll be an interesting season. Season 9's going to tell you whether or not it'll make it to 15. All right, let's move on to the next one. Madame's Secretary Henry and Elizabeth Being Disturbed compilation. Disturbed. Like the band? Sound of Silence. That was such a good cover. Here we go. Looks like this was season 3. Or no. 1 through 3, maybe.
Nice whispering there, please.
Really?
Here. Oh.
Don't tell me what you're gonna say.
I gotta go.
Bye.
I love you.
I love you too.
ABC's giving him more writing room.
I'm right here.
Yes. And Aquinas. And the Beatles.
That's true.
Oh, they're
That
great.
is true.
Bye.
Well, go big or go home, I guess.
It was the right thing to do.
We'll make out in the Rose Garden.
Maybe I can score a key to the Lincoln Manor. Oh.
Rain check. So how was your day?
Oh, on balance, one of the good ones, you?
Well, that remains to be seen.
Hey, guys.
Hey there.
Hey.
I love how I just now figured out what disturbed meant. Interrupted.
Here.
Come on. Come on. You are the very best student in the whole State Department. And you know what I give to my best students.
Mm.
What?
Oh, God.
Oh, no. It's not. We was getting something weird anyway. We have.
Took you a while. It did. It did indeed.
Absolutely.
I was like, when are they going to get like scared or disturbed? I was like, oh. All right, look, I might not be the smartest, okay? But I try.
That is pretty cool.
It's so cool.
It was very cool.
Hey, what do you guys want to talk to me about?
Oh, no, yeah. Go deeper. Right there. Go deeper.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, hey. No.
Mom just has a few kinks.
Come back.
It's
A few kinks.
Talk about it.
Miss my weekend with you?
Oh. Well, we're going to have to trade in our little table at Momot for some cute pancake. Yeah.
That's a sad change in itinerary for a globalist like yourself.
Thank you.
Is that Russell Jackson? Oh, it is. He's here.
Hold that thought. That chance is 0. Oh. Wow.
What an unbelievable tone shift from the first video. Oh my gosh. If this is your first time watching stream, you're probably like, what is happening right now? Went from Bobby
Wait a second.
biting the
Wait,
bullet
wait.
to makeout sessions.
Only one woman who ever challenged me with laser-like precision. Mike B.
What? You know I'm going to need your guidance.
That's what you're gonna get, my guidance.
Hi, can I come in?
Yeah, get in here.
Oh. No, it's Jay. Now she can kiss the Balkans goodbye. Wow.
I like it when you talk tough.
Geopolitics is foreplay.
Mm.
That's hot.
What's interesting is the fact that obviously, you know, when you're in these kinds of positions, no pun intended, when you're in these kind of positions, you're always on. Like you don't have any sort of like off hours, which is just crazy to me. I don't know if I'd be able to work in a job that was just constant.
Security at 11:20? Yeah, Frank. Oh, God, it turns me on when you talk shop.
I'm broke.
Huh?
Mm.
What?
Thoughts?
Until you come back.
Always.
Hey, sorry. Am I interrupting something? I can.
No.
Good grief. Oh, that's brutal. That's over 4 minutes of being interrupted during some intimate moments. That is crazy. Link down below in the YouTube video description for the original video. Go throw out some much deserved love. Check out their channel. They might have other edits that interest you, certainly. Throw it in the chat for those of you watching live. Let's pull up some information on Madame Secretary. I think I have reacted to the show before, so we'll just kind of breeze through some of this and get to some other stories. It's always good to kind of start at a baseline, though. Maybe you haven't seen this before. Maybe you haven't seen the previous reactions. Madam Secretary, titled Madam President for its 6th and final season, is an American political drama television series created by Barbara Hall with Morgan Freeman as executive producer. Wow. Interesting. Stars Tia Leone as Elizabeth McCord, former CIA analyst and political science professor who's appointed Secretary of State following the suspicious death of her predecessor. Boy, I don't know if I'd want to be appointed after that. What did the previous person do that got them suspiciously killed or suspiciously died? Like, at that point, I'm like, what happened? What exactly did they do so I can do the exact opposite? Ran from 2014 to 2019 with a total of 120 episodes. 6 seasons, 120 episodes. About an hour-long show with some ads in between. Elizabeth McCord, later president of the U.S., spent 20 years as a CIA analyst before retiring to become a professor at the University of Virginia. Appointed as Secretary of State by her former CIA boss, now president, to replace the Secretary of State who died in a plane crash. Interesting. Later succeeds her former boss as president. Henry, Elizabeth's husband of 25 years, and later the first gentleman of the U.S., theology professor, so they were both professors, former Marine aviator during Operation Desert Storm. He is hired by the NSA, which employs him as an operative in combating religious extremism. At the end of the 3rd season, appointed at the head of the CIA's Special Activities Division, which sounds fun, but I know it's probably not. Special Activities. All right, let's see what we always look for here. Let's look at some ratings. Should be good. So this aired on, what was it, CBS? Something like that in the U.S.? Series is particularly popular in Finland. 9% of Finnish people watched the first episode when it aired. What? Interesting. Wow, that is a lot. 9% of the country was watching it? That is a lot. Wow. All right. A lot of episodes here. 22 episodes, 23, 22. Ended on 10. Millions of viewers. First aired. Started at 14 million. That's a lot. That is a lot. Went down to 9. And then just kind of fell off a little bit. Last season. Why is that? Why is the last season always so low? I guess people just naturally drop off, but you would think people would tune back in to watch how it's wrapped up. Average viewers. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty steady through the last couple seasons. So really just kind of lost, the people that were casually watching it. Seasons 4 through 6, which are the lower rated, were scheduled to air at 10:30 p.m. Good grief. To allow for football and golf reruns. There were no delays from Mountain Time westward. Since its move to the last hour of prime time, this resulted in new episodes being delayed a week at the last minute due to games overrunning. Yeah, I mean, that is unbelievable. That's so awful. Like, that is a good way to kill a show, certainly. Putting it that late at night, and also, if the game runs long, just saying, all right, catch it next week. Like, you would be so disappointed. That's crazy. Resulted in several new episodes being delayed a week at the last minute due to a game's overrunning to allow CBS affiliate local newscasts to start at 11. Oh, that's right. So right around 11 o'clock, all the local news stations like Fox, CBS, ABC, they all have their own local news. That way it gives you kind of more localized news for the day, and it's right before like the late night talk shows start, comedy shows, whatever you want to call them, like Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, etc. So they try to squeeze in like a 30-minute news show about what's happening in your area or your major city. So that's why. So that is just brutal. Oh, so they would air a repeat from Mountain Time westward. So, middle of the country, well, a little more than middle of the country, all the way out to California, would see a repeat. That's crazy. Met with generally positive reviews from TV critics. The show received 66 out of 100 based on 31 critics on Metacritic. Rotten Tomatoes, the show holds a rating of 67. based on 52 reviews. Consensus for the first season reads, bolstered by Tia Leone's strong central performance. Great actress. She was amazing in Fun with Dick and Jane, the Jim Carrey movie. Amazing in that. Madam Secretary is a solid but unspectacular political drama. 3 former U.S. Secretaries of State were apparent fans of the series. There you go. Madeleine Albright, Hillary Clinton, and Colin Powell. Loved and actually watched. There you go. All 3 of them made a cameo appearance together in the 5th season premiere of the show. That's kind of interesting. Criticism: 3 women have served as U.S. Secretary of State to date. Madeleine Albright under Bill Clinton, Condoleezza Rice under George W., and Hillary Clinton under Barack Obama. We don't need to get too deep into this. But that's kind of an interesting fact. It was nominated for a bunch of awards. Didn't win any, unfortunately. Favorite actress in a new TV series. That's pretty cool. Stephen Colbert being canceled is ridiculous. Talking of late night shows. Yeah, certainly. I feel like I haven't watched late night shows in quite a while. Just because, I don't know, like, well, number one, I don't have like normal television, so that kind of puts a damper on it. But I feel like more and more those shows were getting pushed to YouTube and whatnot, and it's very short clips or whatever. They'd have an interview segment or a game that they'd play. And I was like, you know what? These shows are kind of internet shows in a way. Like they are very much like split up in all these different segments. And I'm like, you know, this stuff kind of plays. Like they get crazy views on YouTube. Those different interviews and the game shows and stuff like that. So I almost think it would do better by not being on television, which is weird. And it would almost be better as like a YouTube show, strangely enough. But it is sad to see the end of American late night. Like it's been going forever. Like it started with, I think it was before Jack Parr. Before Johnny Carson, before Jack Parr. I can't remember the first one. Who was the first one? It was early, very early on in the years. I don't think Jack Parr was the first, but he's the first big name I can think of right now. But Johnny Carson was on it for 30 years or something. Like it's been going for a minute. And it's kind of sad to see it end. You know it exclusively from YouTube? Yeah, isn't that crazy? Those shows have been going on forever. Like back when Johnny Carson was host of The Tonight Show, literally there was only like 4 or 5 channels on network TV in the U.S. So an unbelievable amount of people watched him. It was crazy. Like that dude was like a rock star in the U.S. I wonder what, you know what? Let me look up ratings for that. Yeah, he was on for 30 seasons. Started in 1962, so that kind of tells you just how long it was. 11 million viewers nightly, but the three network late night talk shows today combined only have 6. I say, so what? Let's see. Was it just 11? That doesn't sound right. Oh, the first one was Steve Allen. That's what it was. First one was Steve Allen in the 50s. Oh my God. 54. Good Lord. Jack Parr, 57 to 62. Carson, 62 to 92. Jay Leno, Conan O'Brien, Jimmy Fallon. Obviously, that's not counting David Letterman and Stephen Colbert. And Let's see. Boy, 6,700 episodes. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. That is wild. Unbelievable. You know what's annoying is it's not... The one time I actually want an AI answer, it's not giving it to me. Oh, here we go. There you go. Highest rated episode featuring Tiny Tim marrying Miss Vicky. 1969 was watched by 21 million homes. Good grief. At his peak, averaged about 9 million viewers. So was watched by around 17 million viewers regularly during his peak. Wait a minute, you gave me two different numbers there. At his peak, averaged 9. During his peak, watched by 17. What? So it's somewhere between 17 million and 9, I guess. His farewell show drew an estimated 55 million viewers. Oh my gosh. Oh my, that is a lot. That is an insane amount of people. That's crazy. 55 million. Good grief. Oh my gosh. The only thing that is off for sure is that the anniversary trip aired in January, February 2015. So this is the timeline of Henry and Elizabeth's relationship. Henry is born in 67, Elizabeth in 68. Boy, this is in depth. 83, Elizabeth's parents killed in a car accident. Yikes. Fall of 85, Henry enters UVA on ROTC scholarship. 86, Elizabeth enters UVA with a semester's worth of college credit on a CIA scholarship, meaning she's already an employee of the CIA, working summers and promising to work for them upon graduation. This program actually exists. Wow. Good grief. Talk about young recruitment. That's wild. 88, Henry completes basic training. One of their first dates is voting. That's hilarious. 89, Henry transfers to Quantico for the classroom part of flight school. 89, Elizabeth graduates. Begins her master's in international studies at Duke. Good school. Totally picked at random because it is 11 hours from Pensacola, and we need that for later. And while many assume she stayed at UVA for her master's doctorate, we don't know that for sure. Henry's stationed at Meridian, Mississippi, for the practical part of flight school. Henry is stationed at U.S. Naval Flight Training Center in Pensacola, Florida, flying F-18 Hornets. Henry drives an unknown number of times to Durham to see Elizabeth. Boy, that's a long distance. Henry has freak out over a relationship, breaks up with Elizabeth, and disappears for 3 days before returning, pledging his love and asking her to marry him. What? Henry stationed in Great Lakes Training Center in North Chicago. 1990, they marry. 91, live as newlyweds in Chicago. 91 to 92, Henry deployed to Desert Storm. Elizabeth completes her master's and starts at the CIA full-time, lives and works in D.C. Henry's still in the military on shore duty. Henry does his second tour, theoretically in Iraq, for peacekeeping, perhaps for UN. Henry retires from the military in 94, works for NSA, is on assignment. So he's working out of D.C., living at home, gone frequently. Elizabeth becomes pregnant with Stevie in 94. Boy, 94 was a big year. Stevie's born in 95. 95, he quits the NSA, starts his master's, followed by his doctorate. 98, pregnant with Allison. 99, Allison born, of course. 2000, pregnant with Jason. Jason's born, of course. September 11th, of course. Elizabeth is present when Conrad makes his speech to the CIA in the aftermath of 9/11. 2003, Elizabeth sent to Iraq to interrogate members of Al-Qaeda. Wow. That she has been gathering intelligence on. We don't know for how long she was stationed there, but I'm guessing 3 to 6 months. Elizabeth returns, writes a report on the ineffectiveness of using torture. Dalton offers Elizabeth station chief job in Baghdad. Henry throws ultimatum and Elizabeth quits. Yeah, I'm not surprised. If your spouse came back, you got young kids. Hey, I'm going to be stationed in Baghdad during the heat of battle. You're going to be like, what? No. Elizabeth starts her doctorate, and she and Henry buy a horse farm, move out of D.C., both teaching. Vincent Marsh's plane crashes. Conrad shows up at the horse farm to offer Secretary of State. Dang. That is quite the history. Wait a minute. The stars of the show marry in real life? Excuse me? Politically divided nation, there's one issue in which members of both parties can come together to congratulate Tim Daly and Taya Leone on their recent wedding. What? Played married couple Henry and Elizabeth were married in a private ceremony July 2nd. 1 month ago. That's crazy. That's wild. What? Huh. Knew each other prior to the show's start. They attended the same high school in Vermont. They began dating during... What? In real life during the series' first season. As the show finished production, Daly posted about his gratitude for everything and everyone it had brought into his life. Humans, he wrote on social media. What did I get from Madam Secretary? Everything. That's a wrap. That's crazy. So they went to the same high school. They started dating in season 1, obviously continued, and now they got married. Wow. That's so interesting. Madam Secretary Creator says it was wonderful to help bring those two together. That's so interesting. You had a whole lot of story in those final 10 episodes. Barbara Hall said, we really wanted to treat it like a mini-series. We wanted to accomplish as much as we could by telling the story of the first female president, give ourselves room to do that. So we chose a long arc, which ultimately came to be the impeachment hearings. Interesting. One edict that I had going into this is I wanted to give the show, a lot of room to breathe so that we could get into personal issues and family issues. We didn't have a lot of really intense story arcs per episode. We had one long arc, and then we tried to give ourselves space to tell all the personal stories because people really do love them, and we wanted to provide that. You must feel particularly proud that you brought Tim and Taya together. They are the most perfect couple, and it really is a wonderful thing to have been a part of. I don't know if I could take credit for it, though. Well, somebody hired them. Whoever was the casting nailed it. That's pretty impressive. If you cast two people together and they end up falling in love and marrying in real life, like what? So all that chemistry that you're seeing in the show is actually like acting and also real life. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. How long did you know you were going to end the series with Elizabeth and Henry kissing on the back of the train? Not until right before we wrote it. We knew the arc. We knew we were going to bring her right to the edge of impeachment when we first started it, and we weren't quite sure how we were going to get her out of the predicament. Then toward the end, we came up with what I felt was a great ending for that episode. We've shown you the big arc, and now we're going to give you all the closure and this great room to be with the family and celebrate her success. Very interesting. That's wild. Oh, there's the post. So cool. Wow, they got married in real life. Can you imagine that? Every pairing you've ever had in your favorite show just got married? Like, that would be crazy. Like, the people that were shipping those two obviously probably knew about it eventually, but they must have felt so vindicated. Like, this ship is so strong, it sailed into real life. That's so neat. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. All right, let's hop into the next one. It is Back to 911. This one will be, I don't know if it's going to be more uplifting than the other one. I can't promise you that. This is Bobby and Buck, entitled Thoughts, up until season 8, episode 15. Just based off the thumbnail, I think we might be in trouble, gang. I think we might be in trouble. You'll know what I mean right now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, strap in, get ready. Thoughts.
I told to report to Captain Nash.
Take a seat, Evan. I know we got this thing. You call me Pops, and I give you a hard time for being a dumbass kid. We went to a Springsteen concert together, but this is not a family.
Mom brought 2 kids into the marriage. We brought 1.
Well, Buck's not my kid. Yeah, I suppose so. Sorry to put you guys through this. You're fired. What? I don't have a choice. You're never going to change. Buck, I don't say this often enough. You've come a really long way.
I don't have anything else.
I'm sorry, kid. Just think you've done it. You're not the same impulsive hothead who walked through those doors 7 years ago.
You're an important person in my life, Bobby. One of
Growth.
the most. Cap's in the hospital. Come here. Maybe ask for help once in a while.
You can't fix everything.
You know what? Well, I fixed you. Help.
Buck, nobody cleared you to go up there. You are completely exposed, and we don't have any way to protect you.
Please tell me you
That man has lost 2 children. He cannot survive losing you.
need a lift.
Buck, you saved 2 lives without the uniform. It's not a costume. It's who you are.
I got you, Buck.
Oh. Hey, whoa.
Who's good for you? You don't have to talk to me, but you do have to talk to someone.
How do you know that?
Because we haven't had to talk about it. I know whatever actions you take, no matter how dangerous or impulsive they may be, they come from your heart because you care.
It's too risky.
I am willing to take the risk.
It's not yours to take.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm okay.
Thank you for being there.
Just go on, kid.
Bobby's been the father I never had. I do dumb things sometimes, and they generally drive you crazy. You do that.
Come here, kid. You can't just rush into any dangerous situation and assume it's gonna be okay.
I don't know what I would do
You're gonna be okay, Buck.
if anything would happen.
Buck is very much giving that kid that runs off and plays in traffic. And Bobby's just like, get back here. What are you doing? I didn't raise you like that.
Remember that.
And I made you mad.
I told you to leave, Buck, now!
Made you laugh.
Buck, what are you doing?
Sometimes, I drove you crazy, but I think you spent so much time trying to make sure that I didn't get myself killed that it made you remember what it is to live.
You're right here, where you belong. Buck, you died.
Yeah, so what, now you're just gonna take it easy on me forever?
I don't think that's entirely inappropriate. Just stay with us, kid.
I'm sorry I let you down.
This wasn't your fault, Buck.
He inspires me every single day. What? He's back!
Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal to watch now.
You did good, kid. love you, kid.
Thanks for everything. Look, my captain is not my dad. Might as well be. Now he could have given up on me so many times. He never did.
It's been my pleasure, kid.
Oh my God. Oh gosh. No. Why are these endings so sad? Oh my gosh. We are going through it right now. Whew. Oh. That's brutal. That's brutal. What's kind of interesting is, that shows the arc of, obviously, Bobby and Buck. It shows the troubled kid coming in, lots of heart, just wants to do whatever to help, sometimes against his own, preservation. And Bobby was always there to reel him back, bring him back in. You got all the heart, kid, but you can't be, just running into a burning building and not think about it, don't think it through. That is, boy, it just kind of puts a big question mark on how Buck is going to react and how he moves forward from this. Well, there's only one or two options there. Either you let it destroy you or you let it, empower you. And you take the lessons you learned from Bobby's character and apply it to real life. Link down below in the YouTube video description for the original video. Go throw it some much-deserved love. And also check out the channel. They might have other edits that might tear your heart out. Stomp on it a little bit. Have your tears flowing. All that good stuff. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I don't know if I could handle more of that, honestly. So, luckily from here, these are going to be some happy-go-lucky videos. I can just tell. So, I think our emotions are safe after these articles. All right, let's go ahead and pull up 7 best Bobby and Buck moments in 911. Whew, there's that moment. It's been a whole week since the tragic death of Bobby. Still tough to process. Obviously, it's been a little longer than that now. Bobby has a number of really incredible dynamics that we missed, like with his wife Athena, of course, his stepkids May and Harry. There's also a really incredible pseudo-father-son dynamic between Bobby and Buck that has been a major part of 911 since the pilot episode where Bobby actually fired Buck, as we saw. This made their goodbye last week all the more devastating. Number 7, Bobby gives Buck a second chance. Episode 1. Buck is first introduced in the pilot episode as impulsive. Yeah, that's definitely right. As Hen sums up, lacks discipline. As a result, Buck steals the fire engine twice. That's a wild way to start. Wants to hook up with someone he met on a call. I mean, good grief. Fed up with Buck's behavior and his inability to take the job seriously, Buck gets fired by Bobby. Later, Athena needs help with a call when nobody at the 118 is available, so Buck gets to assist her. It's here that Buck gets a chance to redeem himself, and he does, literally using the fire truck's hose to take down a criminal who's about to shoot Athena. When Buck goes to return the fire engine to the station, Bobby tells Buck that Athena filled him in, but he isn't ready to give Buck another chance. Buck tells Bobby that he made the right call in firing him and that he is still a punk, but now I'm a punk who understands what he lost. This gets Bobby to rehire Buck for good. Number 6, Bobby opens up to Buck about his first loss on a call. Buck starts off the second episode of 911 ready to pour himself into the job after getting a second chance. After witnessing a brutal loss on a call, Buck has a really hard time coping. I think most people have a tough time coping after the first time they lose somebody on a call. I would just assume that would be devastating to see it unfold in front of you. If you've never experienced it in real life, it is terrifying in a way. It is absolutely soul-crushing. it could be a stranger, it could be a loved one. Seeing someone actively die is not enjoyable. So it makes sense that he would need someone to talk to, someone to kind of work through it. And certainly Bobby is a good example of someone that could help him through it. In order to help Buck move on from his first loss on the job, Bobby tells Buck about his own first loss on the job and how much of a toll it took on him. Even after all these years, Bobby remembers all the specific details about the first patient he lost, including the full name, drawings she had on her shoes. Season 1 is very deliberate in the scenes that it uses to build Bobby and Buck's relationship. This one's a great example. Bobby supports Buck as both his captain and his father figure, using his own pain to help Buck work through his own. Number 5, you went full Buck. In the season 4 finale, the 118 are shaken after Eddie is shot by a sniper who's targeting firefighters. Buck is absolutely distraught after witnessing Eddie being shot and unable to help him. So he takes an especially bold risk the next time that he's on the job, putting himself right in the potential line of fire. Bobby is angry at Buck for doing this, of course. So Buck goes to talk to him. Instead of giving Buck his usual speech, Bobby tells Buck that he's accepted that Buck is going to take more risky decisions on calls and that he's not trying to change him anymore. Bobby then tells Buck, quote, "I know whatever actions you take, no matter how dangerous or impulsive they may be, they come from your heart because you care." Obviously, that was in the edit that we just saw. Bobby then points out how that wasn't the case in this situation, and he's upset that Buck intentionally put himself at risk. Scene shows that even when Bobby's mad at him, he really cares about him. Number 4, Buck is a hilarious cutout made of Bobby. Oh my gosh. One of Bobby and Buck's funniest scenes occurs shortly after 118 tends to a group of figure skaters who got injured while performing a routine. Bobby casually mentions that he was a competitive figure skater as a child, and in true Buck fashion, Buck didn't let it go. He reaches out to Bobby's former partner from childhood and then gets a hold of a photo of Bobby back. That is crazy. That is so crazy. Oh, that's funny. Buck has the photo printed out as a life-size cutout and brings it to the fire. That's wild. That is so wild. Oh, gosh. That's how you can tell they had a pretty good relationship, when you can casually roast your superior. Having a good laugh and defending his hairstyle back then, that's so funny. Number 3, Bobby ties Buck's tie before a big date. Now that is some father-son moment right there. Absolutely. Although Buck and Abby were not a good fit as a couple, their relationship was a significant part of Buck's character arc in season 1. As such, their first big date on Valentine's Day is a huge deal for Buck, so Bobby helps him get ready. Bobby ties Buck's tie for him, and then he gives Buck advice when Buck is worried about messing things up. His advice is to take things slow, focus on getting to know Abby. While it's a funny moment between the two of them, it's so sweet seeing them acting like father and son. Number 2, Buck and Bobby talk after Buck's coma dream. Oh, interesting. Yeah, he's looking on himself, that out-of-body experience or whatever. Looking back on Buck's post-lightning strike coma dream, it's an absolute Buck punch. What? To see Buck imagine a world where Bobby has died. Oh boy. Well, I got bad news. As well as to see him conclude that he can't bear a world in which that happens. Well, I got even worse news. In Buck's coma dream, he meets a deceased Bobby who gets him to realize that he's in a coma. It is this push from Bobby and his subconscious that makes it possible for Buck to later escape. While quoting his captain himself, quote, "There is not a locked room anywhere that with the right tools and enough time you can't break into." After Buck finally wakes up in the hospital, he and Bobby get a moment alone to talk while Bobby is sitting at his bedside. The two play cards while Buck tells Bobby some of the details about his dream. Buck can't bring himself to tell Bobby that he had died in it because it was too painful for him to put into words. Still, Bobby listens and helps Buck work through everything and what the dream meant. When Bobby says he can't believe Buck chose to leave a world where he could fix everything, Buck says, "Not everything," making it clear that Bobby being alive is the most important thing to him. Oh my gosh, that's brutal to read. Oh. How innocent the times were in season 6. Number 1, Buck expresses concern for Bobby's health, season 3. Another storyline that's devastating is Bobby's exposure to radiation, season 3. Bobby has to wait a while afterward to see if this has given him cancer, and one day while at work, his nose suddenly starts bleeding. Buck is really worried about the nosebleed, which makes sense now because the nosebleed was involved in what actually killed Bobby. Back then, though, it's a touching moment when Buck just worries about him. Buck then tells Bobby how important he is to him and that I don't know what I would do if anything were to happen to you. My God, is this foreshadowing? What the heck? It's so heartbreaking now knowing that Buck will have to deal with losing Bobby just 5 years later. Good Lord. That's wild. Is there a shallot in here? Yeah, my boss at work is like Guy Fieri. He's been teaching me. We have not made it past breakfast, though. What are you offering? Right now, Bobby's famous lasagna. 6 types of cheese cooked to perfection. That looks good. It does look good. Yeah, I agree. Smells really good, too. And it only took me 3 tries to get it right. Pretty good. Don't give me pretty good. Come on, it's not right. It's missing something. Is there a secret ingredient? I don't know. There is. Come on. It's me, Spill. Cocoa powder. Unsweetened. Interesting. You're the chef tonight. Let's see what you got. My work here is done. That's funny. Yeah. The what I know about firefighters is that they are big on meals, eating together. Because they don't know, obviously, when the next call is going to be. And they have a lot of meals together. Builds a bond, as they say. Look, my captain is not my dad, but he might as well be. He could have given up on me so many times, but he never did. You doing okay? Yeah, I think I am. For what it's worth, I'm proud of you. You're an important person in my life, Bobby. One of the most important. I don't know what I would do if something were to happen to you. Oh, geez. Unsweetened cocoa's in the chili. Interesting. How do I look? You look really handsome. Thank you for being there. You know, for the surgeries and the rehab, I know I wasn't always the easiest person to be around. I'm looking for a patient brought in not long ago, Evan Buckley. Dang. 911 star had no words when he learned about Bobby's death. 911's decision to kill off the fire captain, Bobby Nash, left one of the series stars without words. Death of Bobby Nash in 911 generated a ton of conversation, as it certainly should. So, Oliver Stark, who plays Buck, of course, was asked about it. Stark told him it was silence, adding that it was showrunner Tim that broke it to him on a phone call. I received a phone call and I had no words, and to the point where Tim, showrunner, who was placing the call, said, "Are you still there?" I said, "Yeah, I just don't know what to say." Gosh. Oh, it's even brutal for the actor to find out. That's crazy. Stark also said that the showrunner called all of the cast members of the show individually to let them know the news, praising him for doing it. So it was a respect that a huge moment like that deserves. Given how important Bobby is to the show, it's understandable that all the cast were told separately to process the information, as it meant that the beloved Peter Krause would no longer be a regular part of the show. Decision to kill off Bobby was Meneer's, showrunner. Proven to be a controversial one. Yeah, I would say so. Meneer said, "I've made this choice and I want to let you know ahead of time." And so, yeah, shock and obviously sadness more than anything. Wow. That would be, because obviously you're working every day that you work with these people. You get close to them. Obviously, with Madam Secretary, you literally date and marry your co-star. Like, you're spending a lot of time with these people. You're talking to them offset, onset. The more you hang with them, you're probably going to dinner together after filming and all that stuff. So it makes sense that you would become close to the people you work with. I know for a fact the people of the that worked for the in the show The Office have a group chat and all that stuff. Like, some of these actors get really close to one another, and so it makes it kind of interesting. Like, you're telling somebody that, hey, you're not going to see this person as much. It's just like, dang, that really? That's awful. 911 fans are campaigning for Bobby himself to be kept alive instead, holding out hope that the show will surprise them at some point with a totally unbelievable way of bringing him back. Angela Bassett herself has spoken about fans' passion for Bobby and the show, even joking that the casket was closed if the show was ever looking for a way to bring him back. Dang. I'm worried about where Buck might be headed after Bobby's death. That's honestly, yeah, that could be disaster. Where Buck and Bobby began, obviously we know about that. Instrumental in each other's growth. I don't think anyone would argue that. Bobby was there with advice, help, reassurance, love. Buck was forced to confront his behavior. Concept of found family. Bobby was crucial in Buck finding himself. Where does Bobby's death leave Buck? To be literal, the last time we saw him, he had broken down sobbing after Bobby urged Buck to leave before he would bear witness to Bobby's death. Rapidly oncoming death. While Bobby shared an intimate final moment with Athena, Buck was the only member of the 118 that Bobby truly said goodbye to. He said, quote, "You're going to be okay, Buck. They're going to need you," before sending Buck to get Athena with the last, "I love you, kid." Bobby's final words do, of course, give us a sense of where Buck may be headed as a pillar of love and support the 118 needs to survive Bobby's death as a team. Buck's previous tendencies following huge emotional moments have me very concerned about what the next few episodes may look like. Yeah, that could be kind of a spiral, but maybe he has truly grown. In the face of pain and grief, Buck tends to have a tough time managing his emotions. Take a season 3 arc, for example, after Bobby shelved Buck in fear that he'd overextend himself after injury. Buck lashed out at the entire 118, isolating himself and even briefly considering suing the firehouse for his injuries. Season 2 also featured a very different side to Buck's grief when he refused to move on from Abby, leaving him in LA behind, staying at her house with the hopes that she'd eventually come back. Season 8 even has, Buck goes to 911 Nashville. No, I won't even say it. If these episodes have taught us anything, it's that Buck doesn't always make the best decisions when he's dealing with big emotions. Yeah. Buck engaging in self-sacrificial behavior, isolating or attempting to fill the void with bad decisions. Ultimately, as Bobby Nash himself predicted, Buck will eventually be okay. And for all of you mourning Bobby Nash, don't worry, you will be too. Yeah, that is, yikes. Boy, those last words are quite nice. Quite nice. You're going to be okay, which is true. They're going to need you, which I think is kind of a nod to Buck taking a more, proactive role in the chemistry of the team. Being the one that has all that wisdom that Bobby had bestowed upon him. Interesting. Kind of interesting. The last moments that Buck and Bobby were together, he was still kind of giving him advice. Still kind of, ushering him towards better things. Very interesting. Just kind of cements that. Relationship as a very father-son, mentor-mentee kind of thing. Like, even in the waning moments, still treated him like that. This first comment says Buck needs to run to his ex-boyfriend. Are we talking about Tommy? Are we talking Tommy? How many of you would not like that? Tim said it was good for him. Well, I hope he's happy. It wasn't for me and the rest of us. He evidently doesn't want fans to watch anymore. Buck and Bobby's relationship is so important to the show. Really not sure how they're going to keep going after this, what the plan is. Well, no one really is, but hopefully they had a plan for it. They wrote themselves into a corner, and this is a great example as to why. I hope they go this direction with Buck. As unfortunate as it sounds, Bobby was a huge part of his life, and for Buck to sort of go back to normal by the start of season 9 would be incredibly out of character. I get moving on would make for better TV, but shortening a grieving period minimizes it so much. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Are they going to jump ahead in time to season 9 to kind of like get past all the grieving? Or are they just going to go into the nitty gritty and, you know, he's a divisive choice. Buck seems to have zero interest in women. It seems like he isn't even bi anymore. It really, what? Making him a whiny mess. Good grief. Bring Bobby and Buck's father-son relationship back. I miss them already. I'm just going to point out that I wasn't worried about anything. Whatever happens with Buck, you shouldn't even be worried. Just saying that it would make a great storyline. Again, I'm not worried or nervous, and you shouldn't be... What? Some of these comments are hard to read. Bring Bobby back. I see 3 options, which you're all going to hate. Athena will replace Bobby after Buck pulls her out of her grief. I missed their first season when she thought he was crazy and immature. Again, you'll hate me, but Eddie is truly Buck's best friend, not lover or interest, but a true friend. I know that people don't think, blah, 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 blah. What are we getting at here? Oh, Tommy. Gotcha. Wait a minute. You said 3 options. Where's the third? What? I got 3 options for you. 1, 2. Anyway. What? What the heck? I don't see a number 3 there, do you? Interesting. Whoa. Wow. Some of these comments are just, I don't know what to make of them. This is probably the most accurate. I hope he's happy. It wasn't good for the rest of us. Yeah, certainly. That is that's unfortunate. The numbers went too high for them. They got lost. Yeah, they got really confident in their writing ability. They're like, you know what? We're doing so well right now. The ratings through the roof. People are into it. We moved to a whole different network. An entirely different network picked us up. They got too confident. Way too confident. That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. And it's such a good relationship between, obviously, Bobby and Athena, Bobby and Buck, Bobby and the rest of the gang. Like, it's such good... They were in such a good spot. It's like, why would you throw the apple cart out? Just, whew. You know what? Let's start over. Let's alienate some of our audience, shall we? Like, what? Why? It seems like every show kind of does this after a while. Like, they do some decision that some people love, some people hate. And it's like, why are you... If you're on for 8 seasons, that tells me people love your show. People are watching. Like, no show is going to get 8 seasons if people don't like it. People are not tuning into it. They're not fans. They're not supporting it. They're not engaging. Like, why are you purposely taking a storyline that you know people are going to not like? Like, I get it. Creativity, all that stuff. Really, maybe they were getting bored. And they're like, you know what? Let's throw a wrench in this whole thing. Let's shake it up. Let's see if we can write ourselves out of this. When the fans of the show probably just want more of the same. Maybe tweak some of the little individual relationships. You know, some people want Buck and Eddie and all that stuff. Like, there you go. There's your fun. Have fun with that. You don't have to kill off a main character just to, you know, shake things up and make it seem fresh. Like, it's almost like they moved to ABC and this was their big thing. Like, they're like, all right, we moved to a different station. We're going to try to bring in some more people. So we're going to do something big. We're going to go and kill the main guy. We're going to kill the captain. And then people will be like, whoa, what's going to happen next? And capture a new audience or something. Like, what are they doing? Like, maybe they saw moving to ABC as a way to restart it. Like, create a whole new tone for the series, which is going to alienate so many people. It's crazy. A dare game in the writer's room got out of hand? Maybe, honestly. It's like someone woke up one day and was just like, hey, what if we killed a main character off? And then they're just like, no, come on. Crazy. Go back to sleep. Go get a coffee. Get out of here. And then they started thinking about it and they're like, you know what? Let's do it. They will never see it coming. They will never see it. And then I think they spoiled it weeks before because they're like, what have we done? We might have gone a little too far. People are going to be pretty mad and upset. I'm just taking a guess there, and that's just kind of my, you know, thinking it through, but I'm assuming that's what it was. If a captain had to die, why not Rob Lowe's? It would have been satisfying and improved Lone Star. Yeah, I have no idea. No idea. Like, I get doing that to a spinoff, but the main show? That'd be like Law & Order SVU kills off either Stable or Benson. After this long of a time, people would be outraged. Like, you've been teasing us this long and you killed one of them off? Are you kidding me? People would be so mad. So mad. All right. Let's move on to the next one before we go down any more conspiracy theories about Bobby coming back and living. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that writer's room. I don't know what happened in there, but something happened. Somebody just came in one day with a crazy idea, and they went with it. I'm assuming that's what that was. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. It is JoongDunk, the Kings of Subtlety. So subtle, so shocked. All right, let's jump into this. Here we go. Yeah, purposely adding Dunk's name into the song.
You know, one of the things that I truly do love about JoongDunk is their ability to just fly right under the radar. Yeah, they just glide right on under. You know what I mean? They have truly, and I do mean truly, mastered the art of subtlety. Ooh, I don't know what that. Sorry, I had a tickle in my throat. That was weird. But yeah, they've truly mastered the art of subtlety. Yeah, subtlety. I am completely shocked by how good they are being subtle. Like, never in the world have I seen two people be more subtle than they have. To be honest. Yeah. I mean, they are the definition of covert. You know, just pure Webster's dictionary definition of covert. Yeah. The CIA could never catch these two. I mean, never. In fact, you know who they remind me of? They remind me of Earth and Mix. Yeah. Yeah. Just so subtle. Those two. Like, they were truly the masters. The masters. of subtlety, you know, and it's just so obviously not that kind of obvious, you know, not like that, you know. They're no, like, yeah, but they are so obviously, you know, been really taking Joong and Dunk under their wing to teach them the art of subtle. Yeah. That is very apparent, hands down. Yeah, so just but hey, you know,
I mean,
good for them.
Remember the first time
yeah,
we kissed each other?
solid,
Yeah,
solid
kissed me.
reasoning.
No, I kissed him.
Totally agree.
Oh, okay, so behind the scene,
No,
he have to practice like the camera angle of the kissing.
Yeah.
Yes, and like, oh, I don't want to say it. So basically, he will always be the one who like make the move, right? Even in the series or in like in real life. Yeah, but this time he took so long to like measure the angle.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how is it so hard? And how is it so hard, man?
It's hard, bro. It's hard. Like, even though like people think that we close each other, but you know, who can like kiss?
Yeah, I know. Like
you know,
beautifully in the camera.
Yeah.
Oh no.
and then at that moment I'm like, how is it so hard? And then just like got really close to him, and he like
not really
really close, like and then he just like ran off to the toilet. Like covering his face.
No, I didn't know.
There's a video.
Next question.
ดังนัตชัยครับให้เต้นสถิติลง TikTok 1 คลิปครับเต้นได้หรออะไรนะครับเดี๋ยวจุ๊บเลยครั้งหนึ่งปกติก็จุ๊บอยู่แล้วอะไรนะปกติก็จุ๊บปกติไอ้จุ๊บ2 ครั้งก็ได้ไอ้จุ๊บ2 ครั้งก็ได้ปกติจุ๊บครั้งเดียว2 ครั้ง
Dan har vi likt mycket mer.
Date. Where is Dunk? On his heart. On his heart.
Open me. I want to, but this one very cute. Don't you guys think? น่ารักมากเลยอ่ะเป็นทำมานานไหมเนี่ยでは3、2、
Honestly, this is probably my favorite part of these videos. It's just the looks. It's those death stares. It's just like, I see you. Back up.
I think it's hot because of you guys. Why? Also hot because of my man.
Nope.
My man.
จงกระเดิดกำลังลีก
I gotta say, some of these interactions with the fans in these moments is cringe. Is absolutely cringe. It's kind of weird how they don't like get to interact with them much because they're looking forward and they're sitting forward. So there's not like this weird like, hey, hi, hello. Like it's kind of odd.
จงกระเดิดกำลังลี
I get they're trying to speed it
อ
up
ยากเห็นดัง
though.
ถอดเสื้อครับอะไรนะครับมันไม่เห็นอยากเห็นทั้งหมดอยากเห็นหมดเลยอะไรนะครับผมอยากเห็นใช่ไม่อยากเห็นทั้งหมดข้างหน้า
Oh my god.
Smile upon her face, but know she pleased with this eyes. Coming around to make them gyal roll out them eyes. Go down there, why not go down there? Go down there, why not go down there? Go down there, why not go down there? Go down there.
Wine for your good, make sweat a drip off of me body, yeah. Oh, you.
เฮ้ยไม่ใช่ดิไปไหนนะดังไปสิงคโปร์เฮ้ยรู้จังอะคิดถึงดังจังเลยอะเพื่อนเห็นบนอยู่แล้วแหมเราคิดถึงดังแบบนี้ดังจะคิดถึงเราบ้างปะอยากจะอยู่ดังจริงจริงเมื่อวานอะกูนอนใช่ปะกูก็ฝันถึงดังคือมันอยู่ในใจไงอยู่ในหัวสมองด้วยอยู่ทุกวินาทีตั้งแต่กูก้าวมาที่เบาดีเนี่ยไม่มีวินาทีไหนที่กูไม่คิดถึงเขาเลยพูดไปพูดไปเรื่อยๆยิ่งว่ามีคนฟังมองทะเลก็เห็นแต่ดังมองรีสอร์ทก็เห็นแต่
Just
ดัง
laying it on thick.
ขณะกินข้าวก็ยังเสียงดังเลยจริงครับทุกคนเพราะว่าจุงโทรหาดังแต่ว่าไม่มีสัญญาณ ลืมไป
แบบมาเจอเพื่อนๆที่ผมยังไม่เคยรู้จักอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
เดี๋ยวแบบเขาไปเจอเพื่อนที่เราไม่เคยรู้จักอันนี้เราน้อยใจหรือว่ายังไง
อันนี้บอกประโยคบอกไงประโยคบอกไงบอกเฉย
บอกหรือฟ้องมัมหมี
ไอเราก็เพื่อนเยอะด้วยสิไอเราก็เพื่อนเยอะทีนี้ก็ว้าวุ่นเลยเขาถามแล้วเพื่อนคนนี้ใครอ่ะไม่เคยเห็นเลยจริงคนนี้ใครเราก็มีถามไปบ้างเพื่อนคนนี้เธอจะเผลอใจบ้างไหม
เขาก็ตอบว่าอะไร
เขาก็ตอบว่า
รักเดียวใจเดียว
โดนลิปสติกจะว่าไปก็ไม่ใช่
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Oh my gosh, this is old.
เฮ้ยคุณดูผมเหรอดูผมเหรอดูผมเนี่ยเขาดูผมไม่ได้ดูอ่ะ
They were children, young kids. I have no idea how many years ago this was, but
like I call him like bro because like he like it and he nice. Yeah, like he smile when I call him like this, like you know, that's why I call him bro. Like you know, like sometimes like if I call him like T-Rock, like he gonna be like, no, I'm so shy. Actually, nothing too shy. Yeah, just call whatever you want. Just like how to say. Yeah, you can call me like anything. It's like he used to call me like you know uncle. Even though like he like older than me, but he called me uncle.
because my look like, you know, like I got a tan skin, like a little bit muscle.
Tickets to the gun show. If you're Elsa, I'll be Jack Frost. Oh my god. This song gripped the world for like a period of time. Like kids were watching this on repeat. I've still never seen Frozen. I gotta watch it one of these years. Feels right to watch it around, you know, the holiday season. Nope. Hey. My middle godson is Elsa. Obsessed still. Elsa's got a total grip on an entire generation.
Good morning Good night ครับอ่ะอยากจะบอกให้แค่ตัวเองไม่อยากบอกคนอื่นเลยอะไรนี่เพื่อนผมยังไม่ตื่นเลยหลับอยู่เลยไหนขอรบกวนหน่อยสิฮัลโหลอะไรหลับอยู่อะไรไม่ตื่นเหรอนอนกี่โมงเมื่อวานนี่กูถ่ายวอล์กวีคเว้ยหลับกี่โมงตีสองทำอะไรตีสองแค่กลับกินข้าวก็ดึกจริงเหรอที่เมื่อวานไปกินข้าวกับคุณเจนะแล้ววันนี้จะตื่นกี่โมงแบบนึงวันนี้ไปไหนวะฮะไม่รู้เลยโอเคนอนต่อนะ
I think it's funny that songs and movies can make such a cultural impact. You don't even have to see them to know like the songs. It's just unbelievable. Excellent. Oh my, what? Look at this. Look at this video down here. Oh my gosh. Forcing Dan to watch TikToks of thirst traps and dogs posted 2 days ago. What a thumbnail. Good grief. That's so funny. A link down below in the video description on YouTube to watch the original video. Throw it some love. Check out their channel as well. They might have other videos that you might find interesting. Maybe you want to request them to be reacted to. That's certainly a thing. Throw the link down below for those watching live. Let's pull up some information on JoongDunk. Shout out to the mods for all their hard work. Certainly Jace here, Luke and Rocco Kitty. They put together all the information you see. This is from the party celebrating the airing of the finale of The Heart Killers. JoongDunk performed Please Hurt Me. I'm trying to think, did I click on this last time? I'm not sure. That kind of looks like a broadcast, so I'm going to bounce out of it quick. We saw it for a split second there. Hopefully that doesn't get blocked. Joong later posted about this performance. Joong said, I can write over 1,000 fanfics on this one. Good grief. Joong is just so deep in the game. So deep in the game. Oh my gosh. This week's fittings began for Dare You to Death. Joong is Jade. It's got some Teen Wolf vibe to it. Like in the temporary tat. Interesting. Very interesting. I like the styles. Dunk as Kamin. You're under arrest, says the caption. Oh, okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. MDL link. Oh boy, here we go. Dare you to death. Let's check out the poster. Poster looks good. Pufai dies after a night of partying with friends. New police inspector come in and Captain Jade, adversaries. Okay, so they're adversaries. Interesting. Join forces to find out the truth behind her passing. The case, however, proves not to be as simple as it first appears. Adapted from the novel Dare You to Death. Thriller, mystery, romance. Okay, all right. Looks good. Ohm is in it. Ong Pao. Workshop again yesterday. Source Dunk's IG broadcast. Dunk reposted Ohm's IG story. Joong was being Jade at Junior Mark's FanCon Day 2 and flexing his wolf tattoo with sleeveless shirt. Very interesting. Not surprisingly, the show's official Twitter profile has unfollowed Drake, but there's still no clue as to who will take his place. I think Ping will be taking the role of the series because he's a newbie. Interesting. Drake left GMMTV. Three-hour workshop. Had a meeting with the director and production team. Fitting day was on August 10th. Singh and June were at the location with JoongDunk. Filming will be started this month. Drake related. Drake left GMMTV in June and still no official announcement about the actor who will take over Pufai's boyfriend role. Interesting. Leap Day director is good. Fitting Day posts from Twitter. There you go. Zip. Cool. Very cool. He seemed to like the tat. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely seemed like it. Joong watching Dunk's screen test calls him something interesting. Oh boy. Beautiful. Super beautiful. Drop dead gorgeous. June said, beautiful, huh? Explosively beautiful. Drop dead gorgeous. Are you going to show off? Show off. Can't handle the show off with that police gun pose. This is a muscle. What? What is this?
ว่าจะโซะป่ะโซไม่ไหวถ้าดื่มเยอะกูตำรวจนี่มันเค้กก้าวนี่หว่านี่มันอะไรนะเค้กก้าว
Just sitting back, taking it in. Joong's story on Insta. Dunk's busy day. First Cows football event. Tay News fan meeting. Concert in Bangkok. Wow. Another concert? Dang. Dunk's got energy for days. I would have needed at least 3 coffees to get through that. Flavor.
We have to do some sort of these scenes. We have to, at least I'll just put, you know, like the fisherman. No, it's like like candy, like that when we have to.
Right.
And then we have to ask each other like today what what flavor do you want? Like cherry, beans, or like
Not the zoom in. My God. Kiss talk.
We kiss each other. Yeah, he kissed me. No, I kissed him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
No.
behind the scene, right?
No.
He have to practice like the camera angle of the kissing.
Yeah, we just saw that. Oh my gosh. JoongDunk Twitter banter and chats translated. So there's actually a story behind this goofy photo, which led to JoongDunk to flirt on Twitter. This picture, fine, I'll believe Jung that it's comedy. And today when filming, I asked for a cute pose. He said, no, it'll break character. Then look at what he posted. I'm going to post come in beautiful all throughout filming. Don't forget to boost your beauty with Power 10 formula. Toner pad. I guarantee your skin will look amazing. Can I add include Dunk? Let's add Dunk together, everyone. In pic. That's right. Don't you even think about adding Jung? I'm kind of jealous. Annoyed. I've been adding you since day one. Day one? You're a muscular bottom. Oh my God. Pulling out the meme card. Adding Salt Bay. What is even going on here? Good grief. I love how they have these long Twitter threads just having a conversation. That's so funny.
อะไรนะ
สวยระเบิด
สวยเหรอ
สวยระเบิด
ว่าจะโซะป่ะโซะไม่ไหวถ้าดื่ม
It's just amazing. They just have so much public back and forth. It's kind of eye-opening. It's interesting.
อะไรนะ
สวยระเบิด
I can appreciate it. Just staring. He's writing the next fan fiction right now. That's what that look is. JD and Sari. What fertilizer do you usually use? Organic fertilizer. Oh my gosh. It's got the new arms, the leaf arms. Amazing. Looking good. Dunk's dog Moro had a birthday in July. Oh my gosh. Look at that dog. Huge. Huge. Obviously a sweetheart. Good grief. What a massive dog. Oh my gosh. It just looks so fluffy, doesn't it? You ever seen a photo of a dog like this and you're just like, I gotta pet the dog. I gotta pet that dog. It looks so soft and fluffy and amazing. Dang it. I'm so jealous of Dunk right now. 1 year old? What? That dog breed is wild. Amazing. Very cool. Imagine being that fluffy in Thailand, though. Oh my gosh, the humidity? No. It would just probably make you more fluffy. All that humidity making the hair just stick out. Makes their doc easier than others because they share so much publicly? Yeah, I bet it does. Oh my gosh. The hair is just consuming the face. That is so hilarious. Very adorable. Yeah, definitely breathing hard, panting. So hot. Much smaller here. Kind of. Small. At 1 year old, that's definitely not a lap dog. That's awesome. That's very cool. JD posting on Insta with Papa and Daddy. Oh, what was that? Come on now. That's wild. That is wild. That's wild right there. I don't have words for that. I don't know how to approach that. We're just going to move on. JD Nearway knocks Dunk over. What? Oh. You got to know the visibility in that thing is horrendous. Horrendous. Day one with my baby. Oh. Biker era. Okay. All right. That is an interesting angle. That is a very interesting angle. Okay, come on now. Where's the bike? Just flexing on us in the last couple. I respect it. I respect it. You bait him in with the bike, and then you just throw a thirst trap on him. He knows he's attractive. Well, yeah, of course. Oh my, come on now. Ride available only for his bro, or can I get a ride too? Come on now. Come on now. Don't be thirsty in the comments. It's not a good look. With the size of GMMTV and the amount of artists, bonds naturally develop. Older artists take newbies under their wing, etc. As these dynamics formed, it's become a running joke between fans and actors that this one is that pairing's child. Sometimes it's because they're looking out for the younger actor, and sometimes it's because there's something of a resemblance. For instance, the day Barcode joined GMMTV, Joss commented on Twitter that he looked like a mini Gawain, and thus Barcode is Joss Gawain's son. The family trees can get wildly complicated, especially when some fans start adding actors from other companies as well as the mascots. But for the most part, it's a fun in-joke that the fans and actors all enjoy. Recently, Aston decided he needed to find out who his GMMTV parents were and held a vote. Emmy Bonnie, a GL pairing, won, though never claimed him, he said. But JoongDunk did so. Aston is now their child. Sibling resemblance posted by Joong. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Makes sense as his friends Pavel, Dale all love going out on their bikes. So you're saying they have a bike gang. Interesting. All together at an event. My dad is a professional chef. Oh gosh.
Know how to cook. Guys, I am the son of Pidan. Of course, I know how to cook. My dad is a professional chef.
Mm. That looks so good. Well, I know I can do baked goods. I had no idea I could do the rest. Wow, that looked amazing. Specifically, that lobster dish. Look at that. Wow. Awesome. Dancing with his other dad.
And if you hear this song, then go on, bend your back. Go on, bend your knees, baby, shake it to the max. The DJ, please turn up the bass to the max. Please just rewind, let me shake it to the max.
You know what's kind of insane? He does kind of look similar. Like if they had a child, Aston would probably not be too far off. That's crazy. That's kind of crazy. What's up, Cookie? Oh my gosh. Welcome from a fan. Welcome to the fan. Oh my gosh. What? JD's one too. That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. Joong sharing JD's memes after LOL Fan Fest. I had some fertilizer. Brutal. Brutal. To be continued. Excellent. Love keeping up with them. They are on some amazing run right now. And definitely Dare You to Death seems promising. Wolf tattoo and all. Looking extra, ready to take on the case. Kind of the grizzled investigator. All right, let's move on to something that is going to be very fun and very enjoyable. Indeed. I know it. I just know it. If there's one person that's going to put on a heck of a show, it was definitely Freddie Mercury. This is Queen live at Live Aid, 1985, full concert. I'm ready for it. I hope you are as well. Let's get into it. Here we go. Remastered in HD. Wait a minute, what? Wait, what? No. That was so weird. It started and then stopped. Wait a minute. Let's see if we can figure this out. Oh, it just got blocked. It just got blocked by SME. Sony Music and Entertainment blocked it. Ooh. Let's see if I can find a workaround, shall we? So we probably can assume that this is going to get blocked. And I'm going to have to remove this from the stream. But let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. You know what's weird is there's some from years ago that are still on YouTube. All right, let's go ahead and choose this one. Hope for the best. Remastered by AI. Ooh. I don't know. Is that worth it, or should we just do restored? Probably just restored. I don't know if we need AI involved. It's already so involved.
Hello, over here in England, can I just have a bit of help and attention for the guys down
Picked another troublemaker, indeed.
very hot and bothered. I just like everybody in the back.
This is the lead vocal, this is the lead vocal. Nobody's got it.
This is a lead vocal. This is a little bit of space. We'll be on in about 1 minute.
I love how this is like a charity event and they're blocking it so many years later. Like, what? Literally says feed the world. Like, let's go ahead and block that. Poot.
Ladies and gentlemen, could we have a very warm Wembley welcome, please, for Mel Smith and Griff Rhys-Jones?
Let's go ahead and skip. There we go.
Queen!
And the crowd. He might be one of the few people that has actually made live performances of songs better. Like, that is a rare talent. Most people, when they're singing live or they're doing a concert, the songs usually don't sound as good. And for some reason, he's able to take these songs and just add a little flair to it. And it makes it sound even better than the recording, which is so odd. I really can't think of anything that kind of sounds like a Queen song. I mean, other than maybe like Rush or something like that, where it's its own like thing. All the bands he's seen, no comparing Freddie live. Yeah, I mean, it's just... I am incredibly jealous of your father. Like, to see them live must have been nuts. Especially when they were just coming out, like just coming up. It must have been just earth-breaking. Like, whoa, what is this? Eighteen-year-old dad jumps higher than the rest of the crowd. That's crazy. That's awesome. Lady Gaga got her stage name. The fact that everybody was completely on beat there is crazy. I don't know if you've ever witnessed a live performance when they're not, and it's just awkward. Definitely experienced that before. His enunciation is unmatched. Like, it's so clear. You can tell he's just getting amped, more and more amped.
All right.
It's just such good music. It's crazy. It's all very catchy. Living small town. Where you spent your teen years. Wow. That's amazing. Wow. Brian May is a heck of a guitarist. Putting it mildly. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever heard this song in its entirety. This is a great song. Wow. I can't believe I just got introduced to a Queen song I've never heard of. Crazy. Going up under the fear of Cold War. Those people in that audience are having a religious experience. They're having a religious experience with this. It's so wild.
This next song is only dedicated to beautiful people here tonight. It means all of you. Thank you for coming along and making this a great occasion.
David Bowie followed them. How do you do that? That's wild. That is wild that they put anyone on after. Freddie wrote this song in the bath. I'm assuming he was inspired by some sort of like Elvis song or something. Seems very similar to that time period. He like dances around a note. Something tells me nobody's going out to go to the bathroom or get snacks during this. Just taking a wild guess there. Oh. He's like, he's not, is he? Made the right choice. Made the right choice. Classic. This became like the biggest sports song of all time. You will hear this song at literally every sporting event for eternity. Like, this song was playing when I was playing middle school American football. Like, it was constant. High school football games, university football games, I'm sure football games, basketball games. Oh my gosh. We Are the Champions, yeah. Just constant. Two of the greatest sports anthems to ever exist. I think it goes without saying his lung capacity is crazy. He has been jumping up and down, moving around, all that. He is sweating profusely. You know he's tired, but he is still holding notes. Like, that is so impressive if you think about it for 2 seconds.
You brought me fame and fortune, everything that goes with it.
What a performance. Crazy. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine what it would have been like to be in that crowd. That would have been incredible. And all those people have that memory to look back on. You know, it wasn't long after that Freddie was gone. Kind of crazy. Dang. Brutal. Brutal. Only band in history where every member had written a #1 song. That's crazy. Not even the Beatles matched that. That's wild. That is a wild fact. Oh my gosh. Link down below in the video description for the original video. Go throw out some much deserved love. There's the video in the chat. I'm going to take note of this because I did use a different one, so I don't want to lose it. Okay. Made note of it. All right, let's pull up some information on Queen. Go over it real quick. Here we go. British rock band, formed in London in 1970 by Freddie Mercury, Brian May, Roger Taylor, and later joined by John Deacon. Their earliest works were influenced by progressive rock, hard rock, and heavy metal, but the band gradually ventured into more conventional and radio-friendly works by incorporating further styles such as arena rock and pop rock. For forming Queen, May and Taylor had played together in the band Smile. Mercury was a fan of Smile, encouraged them to experiment with more elaborate stage and recording techniques. He joined in 1970 and suggested the name Queen. Deacon was recruited in 71 before the band released self-titled album. In 1973. Queen 2 in 74. Night at the Opera 75 brought them international success. The latter featured Bohemian Rhapsody, which is one of the craziest, most brilliant songs ever recorded. Like, it is such a original sound. It touches on many different genres and it switches up like crazy. It is just a wild song. Topped the UK singles chart for 9 weeks, helped popularize the music video format. The band's 77 album News of the World contained We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions, become complete anthems at sporting events. I mean, the biggest anthems at sporting events, period. Early 80s, Queen was one of the biggest stadium rock bands in the world. Another One Bites the Dust from the Game became their best-selling single. Wow. And their 81 compilation, Greatest Hits, is the best-selling album in the UK, certified 9 times platinum. Performance at the 85 Live Aid concert is ranked, which we literally just saw, ranked among the greatest rock history by various publications. 86, August 86, Mercury gave his last performance with Queen in England. Dang. Literally a year later. Mercury was diagnosed with AIDS in 1987. The band released 2 more albums, The Miracle in 89 and The Innuendo in 91. November 23rd, 1991, Mercury publicly revealed his AIDS diagnosis. On the next day, died. Complication from AIDS. Bronchopneumonia. Boy, that's brutal. That's a tough way to go. Inflammation of the bronchi, accompanied by inflamed patches in the nearby lobules of the lungs. Tough to breathe, basically. If any of you have had pneumonia or bronchitis, you know just how difficult that is. Like, I went to the hospital with bronchitis a couple times. I think twice, maybe once to the hospital. But I've had bronchitis multiple times in my life, and it is brutal. The night that I went to the hospital, I woke up out of my sleep not breathing, not being able to breathe, which definitely jars you awake. Your body's like, whoa, alert, something's happening. And it was just, I literally had to cough out a lung just to get like a breath in. So that was definitely a trip to the hospital. So it's brutal. It's absolutely terrible. One more album was released featuring Mercury's vocals. 1995, Made in Heaven. Deacon retired in 97. May and Taylor continued to make sporadic appearances together. Since 2004, they've toured as Queen Plus with vocalist Paul Rogers in 2009 and Adam Lambert since 2011. I like that they changed the name. To Queen Plus. Just, out of respect for Freddie. I really don't like when acts continue on post, especially somebody as important as a vocalist to a band. Linkin Park comes to mind. Like, that is not Linkin Park. That is something entirely different. I wish they would call it something different. Yes, they're going for a similar sound, but it's just not Chester. It's not. It is what it is. I'm not hating on the group, but I do wish they would change the name because it's just not Linkin Park. Queen have been a global presence in pop culture for more than half a century. Estimates of their record sales range from 250 million to 300 million, making them one of the world's best-selling music artists in 1990. Queen received a Brit Award, Outstanding Contribution to British Music, inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2001. Each member having composed hit singles. All 4 were inducted. There we go. There's the word. I guess they were indicted. Inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. That's crazy. That is a crazy stat. Wow. Roger was driving to see him and found that he'd already passed. Oh, boy. Bohemian Rhapsody is the most played song on Spotify. Dang. People kept suggesting they do a hologram Freddie. Brian and Roger refuse. Said they would never do that to him or themselves. No, that would be... I know people have done that with Tupac. They did that at Coachella one year. Gosh, who else have they done that with? They've done it with other people. And I think they did it with Elvis or something. And I was just like, no, that's in weird taste. Oh, they did it weirdly with Elvis. It was like a screen. It was like a big screen of Elvis. I don't know if they did the hologram with him. Maybe they did. I can't remember what they did there, but it was odd. It was very odd. It's like, can we just let that kind of lie? I get with technology, it's going to become more and more possible. Like, could you imagine AI Freddie Mercury being able to perform? At that point, it's weird. There's going to be people that bring back... Well, there's already people that do that with AI. You can literally make original Queen songs with an AI Freddie Mercury voice right now. And that is so eerie and awful at the same time. Queen drew artistic influence from British rock acts of the 60s and 70s, such as the Beatles, of course, the Kinks, Cream, Led Zeppelin, obviously, Pink Floyd, The Who, Black Sabbath, Shout out to Ozzy, R.I.P. Slade, Deep Purple, David Bowie, Genesis, and Yes. With Mercury also inspired by rock and roll singers Little Richard, I mean, classic. Elvis, of course, with Crazy Little Thing Called Love. That's like a direct shout out to Elvis. Gospel singer Aretha Franklin. On the Beatles, Brian May stated, they built our Bible as far as musical composition, arrangement, and production went. Yeah, absolutely. The White Album is a complete catalog of how you should use a studio to build songs. Mercury said John Lennon was larger than life, an absolute genius. Even at a very early stage when they were the Beatles, I always preferred John's things. I don't know why. He just had that magic. Yeah, certainly. George Harrison was no slouch. I will say that. George was no slouch. May and Mercury were influenced by Jimi Hendrix. Of course. I mean, if you're a guitarist, Jimi Hendrix is like one of the top. Mercury saying he really had everything any rock and roll star should have. Jimmy is, of course, my number one, and I've always said that. I never stopped learning from Jimmy. Mercury's thesis for his college diploma was on Hendrix. Wow. And Mercury and Taylor closed their Kensington market stall on September 18th, 1970 to commemorate his death. Wow. Queen's music had been characterized as Led Zeppelin meets Yes. Mercury stated Robert Plant as his favorite singer and Led Zeppelin as the greatest rock band. He also said Queen have more in common with Liza Minnelli than Led Zeppelin. We're more in the showbiz tradition than traditional rock and roll. Yeah. I mean, it kind of blended both. It's like it's a thing of its own, really. Eddie Trunk described Queen as a hard rock band at the core, but one with a high level of majesty and theatricality that delivered a little something for everyone. Yeah, honestly. As well as observing that the band sounded British. Quote, sounded British. Rob Halford of Judas Priest commented, it's rare that you struggle to label a band. If you're a heavy metal band, you're meant to look and sound like a heavy metal band, but you can't really call Queen anything. They could be a pop band one day, or the band that wrote Bicycle Race the next, and a full-blown metal band the next. In terms of depth of the musical landscape that they covered, it was very similar to some extent to the Beatles. While stating that they were influenced by various artists and genres, Joe Basso of Guitar World magazine writes, Queen seemed to occupy their own lane. Yeah, look at all these styles of music that they've been associated with. This is crazy. I mean, it's just amazing. And, you know, they had that period of, oh gosh, what was it? It was Argentina or something like that, where it was very, like, operatic. Like, Freddie was doing some operatic stuff, and they're just like, whoa. Radio Gaga became a live favorite for the band because they would have the crowds clapping like they were at a Nuremberg rally. That's so funny. Very interesting. According to Brian May, there are over 180 vocal overdubs in Bohemian Rhapsody. The band's vocal structures have been compared with the Beach Boys. Yeah, I would say so. Beach Boys were constantly doing harmony and I guess it's called vocal overdubs. Constantly doing that. That seems like so many. 180 seems like a lot. Also known for multi-tracking voices to imitate the sound of a large choir through overdubs. And what's funny is most of those voices were probably Freddie. Just doing it 180 different ways. Oh, wow. Having studied graphic design in art college, Freddie Mercury designed Queen's logo. The logo combines the zodiac signs of all four members, 2 lions for Leo, a crab for Cancer, and 2 fairies for Virgo. The lions embrace the stylized letter Q, the crab rests atop the letter with flames rising directly above it. That's impressive. Wow. That is really something. Queen remember iconic Live Aid performance. Quote, we thought it was going to be a disaster and it nearly fell apart. Brian and Roger recall the band being so apprehensive. Bob had one instruction for Queen for the day. Don't get clever, just play the hits. You have 17 minutes. They did thus did four already veteran rockers take the stage July 13th, 1985. Only last month it came topping a newspaper poll of British concertgoers' most iconic gigs. Not bad for a slot that nearly never happened at all. Only drummer Roger was enthusiastic initially. We weren't touring or playing, and it seemed like a crazy idea, this talk of having 50 bands on the same bill. We thought it was going to be a disaster. Freddie in particular said, I haven't got the right feeling for this. He wasn't the leader of the band, but if he dug his heels in, there was no dragging him, so we parked it. A few weeks later, thousands of tickets had been sold. Anticipation was building. May realized Taylor was right. The band needed to turn up to the party. I said to Freddie, if we wake up on the day after his Live Aid show and we haven't been there, we're going to be pretty sad. He said, oh, F it, we'll do it. Yeah, that seems like solid reasoning, honestly. You got all those different bands. It's for a good cause, all that good stuff. Part of that FOMO, fear of missing out. It's just like, oh, F it, we'll do it. Legend has it that Queen was one of the few bands to rehearse for the event, something 75-year-old Taylor now plays down. He recalls, we had 3 short rehearsals in a theater, but we weren't exactly slaving. We just put it together and ran it through a few times. I'm sure most of the artists must have done the same. Hardest decision for such a short set was which songs to perform. For Taylor, it was obvious to open with the verse of Bohemian Rhapsody. It was so immediately recognizable. Then to finish with We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions was a no-brainer. We were told a strict 17 minutes was allowed, although I think it ended up at 21. Why? That was Freddie in his call and response, of course. Even after playing in huge stadiums around the world, Taylor admits he was feeling nervous leading up to the big day. We hadn't been on the Band-Aid single. We had felt relatively senior compared with a lot of the younger acts. It wasn't necessarily our audience because we were a very late addition to it. And it was daylight, which we don't like because the stage lights have no effect. Plus, it was so thrown together on the stage, we just had to hope all the elements would come together. I wouldn't say we doubted our skills, but we had a technical apprehension. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, if you're a late addition, you're probably just like, none of these people are here to see us. Like, they didn't buy tickets specifically for us. Most of them, probably. But you know what? Looking at that crowd, they were happy as hell that they showed up. That is for sure. They were all in it. Queen hung out in what Taylor calls our little caravan, catching up with their fellow superstars. Elton John had his own English rose garden with an actual fence. David Bowie was there. I think he was quite jittery. May remembers backstage having a kind of family atmosphere. Lots of people popping in to say hi, lots of kids. Pretty relaxing, strangely enough. May said, quote, there were still a few doubts as to how difficult it was going to be to change over between groups, but the whole thing ended up running to time, which is unheard of. It was all thrown together and it Took a lot of goodwill to achieve that. We were perhaps lacking in oil, but we were a well-exercised machine. The response from the crowd was so deafening it took your breath away. I ran on, which I don't normally do, all due to adrenaline. Came off the rails quite significantly at the end of Hammer to Fall. If you look at it, you might think that was on purpose, but it wasn't, because there were little tweaks and nobody quite knew where we were. Live shows aren't perfect, but most of the things we do worked out. Came off very conscious of the flaws in our performance, but I also knew Freddie had been great. And I think Freddie was also taking some liberties in some of those. And I'm assuming if your bandmates and your lead singer just kind of goes off in a direction, you just kind of follow and you just try your best to, go with it. Even before they got to their designated big finale, We Are the Champions, Queen had effectively stolen the show with Mercury's spontaneous AO call in response to the ecstatic fans who sang along. We thought that might be on the cards, May remembers. We just didn't know whether he was going to feel right about it, but he was so bold. The crowd of 72,000, arms aloft, clapping in time to Radio Gaga, just as they had seen in the song's video. It wasn't a Queen audience, May marvels now, so we went in not knowing if they'd even know what to do, but it was the beginning of the video age taking over the world. As predicted in Radio Gaga, funnily enough, that's what the song is about. They didn't even think about it. They just did it. Every single hand seemed to be in the air. During Radio Gaga, it did seem like the whole stadium was in unison, but then I looked up during We Are the Champions, and the crowd looked like a whole field of wheat swaying as they were, arm in arm, basically. Amazing. That's so cool. That is so neat. Following summer, the band was back on the road, including 2 stadium gigs back at Wembley and one at a packed Nebworth Park, I think, in Hertfordshire, where the audience was nearly 120,000, but reports suggest that the figure may have been nearer to 200,000. They just used to let people come in back then, says Taylor. That's cool. Songs were great, and so was the performance, says Taylor. I've spent my entire adult life as a member of Queen. I always wanted to be in a gang like that, and it's a pretty cool gang. May said, quote, a lot of it was Freddie. He'd learnt this wonderful thing, which was how to involve everybody in a 100,000 audience. He had this magical ability to make everybody feel like he was talking to them, and that, above all else, rooted that occasion. We'd been to gigs. We knew what it felt like to be the small guy at the back of the room. Freddie harnessed that energy somehow, and he made that person at the back feel like he could do it too. 40 years later, May still gets emotional at the memory and slips into the present tense to describe his friend. He had this power. He's not Farouk Bulsara. When he walks on, he's Freddie Mercury, and he owns the world. That's awesome. That's really cool. That is amazing. 33 years later, Queen's Live Aid performance is still pure magic. Agreed. I would agree. Oh, yeah. Bohemian Rhapsody with Rami Malek. I wasn't even alive when Queen played Live Aid. I was born 3 years later in '88. 3 years before Mercury died of bronchial pneumonia resulting from AIDS. Documentary about Queen. Thumping, chanty music I had recently identified as more entertaining than the Beatles on car journeys. I sat down. By the time the program reached the Live Aid concert, I was hooked. at 7 years old. Since then, I've watched the set many times, as we just did. Exuberance and energy undiminished over the 23 years since the first viewing. Far from exhaustive account of why, for me, it remains magical. Queen didn't open or close the show. They performed just before 7 p.m., uncharacteristically in daylight. Bookended by gigantic acts like U2, Elton John, and David Bowie. Past their peak and reeling from the catastrophe of a misadvised run of shows in apartheid South Africa the previous year, Queen was not expected to shine. Mercury in particular had been the focus of disparaging coverage and rumors in the press over his sexuality. Yeah, that is wild. Amid an atmosphere charged with pessimism, Mercury danced onto the stage and welcomed the crowd like his dearest friend. By the time he sat down at the piano and hit a few notes of Bohemian Rhapsody, he was the absolute master of the stadium. Over the next 21 minutes, his audience and the 1.9 billion people watching on TV around the world fell in love with him. Humor, hyper-masculine yet fantastically camp energy, phenomenal 4-octave voice were irresistible. May said, quote, "The rest of us played okay, but Freddie was out there and took it to another level." That's awesome. That is so cool. For just over 30 seconds, led them in a vocal improvisation, which was later christened the Note Heard Round the World. Carried the audience, his winks and nods making the triumph a shared one, blown kisses, thrusting hips. Yeah, it was just incredible. Brilliance of that set didn't only reverberate around the world that summer, it rippled through every viewing thereafter. For a man whose death is so focal in the history of HIV/AIDS, Mercury remains undefined by it. He greeted the world on his own terms and did whatever he loved, and as when he chose to. Spectacular performance was not only resurrected Queen, but established them as one of the most successful acts of all time. Just part of his generous legacy deserves to be enjoyed for many years yet. Honestly, yeah, amazing. That's his birth name. Okay, all right. I didn't know that. Freddie Mercury facts, 15 things you never knew about Queen's frontman. Brilliant boxer. What? At school in India, the young Freddie Mercury was a good table tennis player. He used to play tennis sometimes, especially when he was on holiday. Enjoyed watching Wimbledon. I have enjoyed watching Wimbledon for most of my life. He also liked watching rugby, but football and cricket did nothing for him. Interesting. I loathed cricket and long-distance running. I was completely useless at both. But I could sprint. I was good at hockey. And I was just brilliant in the boxing ring. He rescued tennis star Billie Jean King. Mercury said he loved the nightclubs in New York and went to check out a Brooklyn disco called the Gilded Grape, even though it was supposed to be very edgy. Quote, "I'd heard it was really exciting, but everyone told me I shouldn't go. Or if I did, at least make sure I had a fast, bulletproof car waiting for me outside. Everyone tried to warn me about the club, which of course made me all the more determined to go. Not long after we got there, a massive fight broke up, which ended at our table. Chairs were being smashed, fists were flying, blood everywhere. Billie Jean King was petrified, but I loved it. I told her not to worry, and as fight raged, I grabbed her and took her on the dance floor. It was much more fun than having some cozy dinner back at my hotel." What a night. What a night. His fashion sense scared his parents. When he was a student at Ealing Art College, Mercury began experimenting with different looks, but didn't go down well at home. My parents were outraged when I told him what I was up to. I used to go home periodically and turn up in these outrageous clothes with my fingernails painted black, and at the time, my mother used to freak out. She used to say, "My God, don't let the neighbors see you. Come in here quick. Use the back door." Don't let the neighbors see you. That used to be a time when people cared about the opinions of neighbors. Nowadays, not so much. Not so much. Maybe in small towns, I suppose. He designed the Queen logo. Mercury's diploma in art and graphic design came in useful. He designed the logo for Queen after John Deacon completed the lineup. We decided to call the band Queen, and I designed the Queen crest logo. I simply combined all the creatures and represents our star signs, and I don't even believe in astrology. That's funny. He didn't need much sleep, despite his energetic professional life, and partying, so I guess personal too. Mercury said he could survive on little shut-eye. Quote, "I can go without sleep for long periods. That's my nature. I can get on by just 2 or 3 hours at night. That's wild. I don't know what it is, but it's true. I wish I could tell you I relax in ways most people can't understand. By just sleeping on a plane when I'm flying for 20 minutes. That's enough for me. I recharge my batteries in a short time and I'm up again. I have to be doing something every day." It's kind of interesting. It's like he participated in little cat naps every once in a while. And just, went on to do his thing. But had bad dreams. Quite often, I have vicious nightmares. Like one night, just before the Rainbow concert, 1974, we were sleeping in a Holiday Inn, and I dreamt I went out onto the balcony and the whole thing fell down, and I was in a heap on the pavement. Really, I was petrified when I woke up. That's terrifying. Good grief. People say dreams are somewhat, fortune-telling, so maybe that was kind of a thing. He stood up to punk rebels. In 1977, when Queen was recording parts of the News of the World album in London, Mercury said that 2 future members of Sex Pistols were in the next studio. You can imagine us and the whole punk rock anti-establishment thing under one roof. Anyway, I got Johnny Rotten and Sid Vicious in to listen to one of our tracks, and I said that I would sing on one of their songs if they sang on one of mine. Kind of a trade. And you should have seen them. They were like, "We can't sing with Freddie Mercury." I was wearing ballet pumps at the time and things like that. It was quite funny. I called Sid Vicious Simon Ferocious or something like that, and he didn't like it at all. I said, "What are you going to do about it?" He had all those marks on him. So I asked if he had scratched himself in the mirror, and he hated the fact that I could speak to him like that. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Small planes scared him. Queen jetted around the globe during 13 major tours. Mercury did not like it when they had to travel on a small jet in South America. I was terrified. I don't like flying in anything smaller than a jumbo jet. And this thing we went in was so small. I was told we had photographers and the like at the other end waiting for us to arrive, so I couldn't possibly let them see how shaken I was. My knuckles were white from gripping the armrests. But when we arrived, I stepped out of that machine with a smile on my face, looking like I did it every day. No one was any wiser. Yeah. I would assume being on a small, propeller plane would be terrifying. I haven't done it, and I don't want to. He was asked to star on Broadway with Linda Ronstadt. Mercury loved going to the theater, ballet, and opera, but did not want to tread the boards himself. I could never do a season in a theater, as it were. I would run out. They asked me to do Broadway once, La Boheme, with Linda Ronstadt. And I thought, you're kidding. It's totally off tangent. But they asked me to do it. They thought I could sing operatically. The first thing that came to my mind was that I can't do matinees, and they don't realize that I can't sing for 6 or 7 days a week on the same stage. I'd be bored to death. I love how his concern was, that just sounds boring to me. He loved to sing in the nude. Mercury battled hard to cope with vocal cord problems and found that rehearsing without clothes helped. I have to go easy on the red wine because of my throat nodules. To warm up, I do what I call mock operatics. I do it naked, though, because there's a certain piquancy about that. With clothes on, it doesn't work, so I sing in the complete raw. I went to throat specialists. I think I saw them all, but they always tell you to just rest and not to do the tour or have an operation. I came very near to having an operation, but I didn't like the look of the doctor, and I was a bit perturbed about having strange instruments forced down my throat. He was a demon at Scrabble. Mercury said he was pleased with his vocals in innuendo. Adding innuendo as a word I often use in Scrabble. Scrabble, excuse me. I'm a demon at Scrabble. For Queen, it's a perfect title. Number 12, he was nearly in a supergroup with Elton John and Rod Stewart. Wow. Rod Stewart, Elton John, and I were going to form a band once upon a time called Hair, Nose, and Teeth. After the three of us, it's nice when you've had a lot of wine and you talk about it and say, yeah, let's do it. But the next day when you're sober, Elton says, I'm not going to sing with Rod. And Rod says, I'm not going to sing with Freddie. And I said, well, I'm not going to sing with Elton. You realize it's never going to happen. Hair, nose, and teeth. That is so funny. Oh, my God. Elton John once gave him property advice. Freddie Mercury and Roger Taylor used to sell clothes at Kensington Market when they were young and poor. So the Queen frontman enjoyed the fact that he went on to earn enough to buy an 8-bedroom house in Kensington, one of London's most exclusive areas. It's full of marble floors and mahogany staircases, said Mercury. It even has a garden that is 3/4 of an acre in Kensington. Can you believe it? An Arab offered me £4 million for it. I told Elton John, and he said, quick, sell it to him and live in a prefab. But it's my dream home. I don't care how much it costs me. Hey, you know, sometimes money doesn't matter. He filled his house with expensive art. Interesting. Quote, I always remember he had a Picasso painting in the loo, in the bathroom. Wow. Mercury would frequently go to auctions at Sotheby's and Christie's. I have to be surrounded by something, even if it's just objet d'art. So I collect a lot, and my whole house is filled with beautiful Japanese art and antiques. Interesting. He even had Princess Diana round to watch Golden Girls and drink wine. Are you serious? That's awesome. I'm not surprised she did that. That'd be a heck of an invite. Art inspired his songwriting. When the band were making their 74 album Queen 2, Mercury said he wrote the song The Fairy Feller's Master Stroke after being inspired by a painting he had seen at Tate Gallery in London. That is very, very unusual for me, being artsy or whatever. I go to art galleries a lot. I saw this picture in the Tate by Richard Dadd, who was a Victorian artist I liked. I was thoroughly inspired. I did a lot of research on it. And what I tried to do was put the words into my own kind of rhyme, but I was using his text, as it were, to depict the painting, what I thought I saw in it. That's very interesting. What am I surprised in this? I would say the fact that he didn't sleep much. That's kind of interesting. I didn't know he designed the logo. Had no idea he was that good in sports. That's fascinating. Dude, this is so funny. Number 12 is one of the funniest things. Like, that just shows the amount of humor he had. Like, his sense of humor is fantastic. Very cool. Very cool person. Obviously, Queen is legendary. Legendary. That goes without saying. One of the best bands ever. If not the best band ever, depending on who you ask. I would say, impact-wise, I mean, other than Zeppelin, maybe. A lot of people say Zeppelin was the greatest rock band of all time. I mean, the Beatles, of course, musical royalty. But Queen is honestly right up there, if not on the level with me. I don't listen to a lot of Led Zeppelin songs. I just don't. I've heard quite a few of them, obviously, over the years. But I would say I listen to Queen way more. Way more. As far as the Beatles go, I absolutely love them. Like, how can you not like the Beatles? They have so many hits. So many hits. And they have kind of music for every occasion, which is interesting. And certainly Queen does as well. I'd say, I don't even want to pick, honestly. Between Queen and the Beatles, they have got to be 1 and 2 with me. Or 1A, 1B, basically. So, yeah, amazing. The songs are so, and I mean this with all respect, weirdly intriguing. Like it's kind of its own thing. Like you can't put Bohemian Rhapsody next to really anything else that I'm thinking of. Like it is its own thing. Like it is such an odd song, but it's a good odd, like great odd. The Judas Priest guy mentioned, like Bicycle Race. What an odd song. And it works. It works so well. It's one of those songs where you sing, you know the words to it, and you're like, what am I singing right now? And it's so catchy. So catchy. You know, certainly they have their classics, which are just great songs, period. But they also have a lot of those weird songs that you're just like, I don't know how they came up with this, but it's still like great. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. Like what? It's one of the all-time like head scratchers. Like just a odd, strange, electric, legendary band. For a callback, they've used quite a lot of Queen songs in 911, including Bicycle. Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, they're universal. They're sports anthems. I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody is in so many things. Like, certainly, if you've ever seen, I know it's not the greatest film ever made, but if you've seen Wayne's World, Bohemian Rhapsody plays such a large role in that movie for a scene. It is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah, it's good listening. You could put on Queen Greatest Hits and just jam out, and you know most of the words without thinking about it. Like, that is the best thing you could probably say about a band, is that you can just sit there and recall lyrics without even thinking about it, and you're just like, when did I learn those? Like, did those just get ingrained into my head? Like, I didn't listen to that song that many times. I never looked up the lyrics, but I'm just singing along to it. And that, it's a testament to how catchy their songs are, and it's also a testament to how well pronounced Freddie Mercury was in his words, his lyrics. Like, you can tell the words that they're singing, even though sometimes you're like, I don't know specifically the word, but I know kind of the word, where you're just like, I don't know. I don't even remember learning them from Dad playing it since I was, yeah, very much so. And it's all over. Like, it's in advertisements and shows and video games and movies. Like, their music is ubiquitous. Like, it's just all over the place. Like, I remember for the longest time, their songs have been in like advertisements for car companies and medication here in the US. Like, they're everywhere. I will admit, I have not listened to any of the new Queen songs, if there are new Queen songs. Or I know Adam Lambert has been, kind of wielding the helm recently. I've never listened to it. I don't frankly care to listen to it. Without Freddie Mercury, I'm just not interested. Nothing against Brian and Roger, of course. But yeah, I'm just not interested. Freddie was Queen. Freddie was Queen. Amazing. The concert is one of the best, apparently. And I mean, in my opinion, it would definitely be up there. If not the best, one of the best. And just to see that they were a late addition to that group, to that set. but everybody was in it. Everybody was tuned in, and he had control of all of them. Like, that is crazy. Crazy. They don't do new stuff with Adam, just live shows? Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Well, I'm glad they can still earn money from Queen and everything. You know, support their families and all that stuff. That's nice. Any newer stuff is unreleased stuff with Freddie. It's amazing they still have, like, recordings that they haven't released yet. I listened to one not that long ago. It was released posthumously. I can't remember the name of it. It was like I Want to Live Forever or something like that. No, that might not have been it. It was like the last recorded song he did, or at least I think I remember that. And I was just like, dang. Like, you can tell, like, his voice was starting to deteriorate and not be as projecting. And, you know, it's just kind of sad. Really sad. It's amazing how much more, you know, great music we would have had from Queen if Freddie didn't die. Like, it would have been crazy how much more classics they could have potentially turned out. You know, it's just one of those things. Does a short life add mystique to a life? Maybe. I mean, certainly it helped bolster, like, Nirvana, Kurt Cobain's legacy. Like, who knows how many other great songs they would have released if Kurt Cobain didn't, you know. It's just one of those things where it's like it adds a certain element to it. Sadly, it does. But there's no denying that Freddie Mercury, period, is one of the greatest vocalists, certainly in rock and roll, to ever live, period. I will not hear anything else. Definitely one of the greatest vocalists. So many octaves, could sing anything. Just crazy stuff. Who Wants to Live Forever is one of the last ones. He did a shot of vodka and said, I'll do it. Smashed it. That's awesome. That's cool. That is very cool. He seems like he had that amazing personality till the end, which is awesome. Very cool. All right, everybody. I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. Hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, check out the merch on the website. Request videos that you would like to see reacted to, toddreacts.com. And yeah, I'm glad you're here. I'll see you in the Discord. Look out for that. Join us. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Do something fun. I will be packing all weekend, so it's not going to be fun. So please have fun for me. That's what I'm saying. All right, everybody. Take care of yourselves. I will try to enjoy it the best I can. All right. See you on Monday, everybody.